We're live.
Of course we are. Welcome to the Scale Builders Guild.
And Harleydesigns. Live, what do we call this? Live show takeover. Live stream takeover.
Live place. My space takeover.
My space takeover. Welcome.
Welcome. Put in
Anything
the chat
new?
where you're from. No, nothing.
Nope,
Nothing's been
nothing
happening here either. It's pretty.
P.S.
pretty
I have sent all of the moderators a message. I appreciate it. This is going to be RC and peripheral, an escape from real life and anything like.
Yes.
So, oh, no sound. Wait.
Oh, for you or both of us? Looks like I'm.
I think just for me.
Nobody has told me they can't hear me, but I mean.
I think I fixed. That should have fixed. It doesn't appear to have. Why not?
Welcome, Andy from Bavaria. Second live stream for the night. Oh, man. Who else is live streaming? Who would live stream against us? I'll keep people entertained with jazzy.
Yeah. Is mine still not working?
Weird. I'm getting everything here. Everyone can hear you on our side. So
yeah.
That's good. I saw Moose Jazzing here. He's taking apart his Gladiator to paint it.
All right. That should have fixed it. A little loud, maybe. Okay.
Yeah,
I think I fixed it.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Welcome, everyone.
That's how things are going right now.
Yeah. It's today is the not talk about anything that's happening in the real world, just RC related only.
Exactly. That we're just keeping it.
Yeah.
We're keeping our blood pressure down.
Keeping it real, keeping it small.
Matt and I are going to have a guest tonight. We haven't had a guest in a little bit.
Yes.
Randall Davis, who is one of the guys who has been with Axial forever. Now he's with Horizon.
Never heard.
And yeah, he is a product manager over there. So he's gone through a lot of roles, and we'll get to hear his whole thing. Hey, thank you, Sam C, for the donation. £9. Appreciate
£9, mate. That's
great.
So, congratulations.
Yeah, that's it'll be fun to have Randall on.
Yes, it will be. I got through. Man, he's a talker. Let me tell you.
Who?
Randall.
Randall? I don't.
Because I was the one who cut that Axial 15-year documentary doodad together.
Keep patting yourself on the back. Whatever.
Great job. Thank you.
No, that was a fun documentary.
Yeah. Josh is really choppy, apparently.
Well,
don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you. That's the nature of long distance relationship.
Yeah. It's not you. It's me.
Yeah.
We could try a few things, but I don't think anything's gonna work.
Probably not.
No.
Thanks everybody for joining in and getting the chat going. Hopefully all of you guys as well are having a sit back. Hope you can crack a can of bubbly and enjoy us tonight.
Cheers to having some water.
Yeah. RC Patina guy, here's a donation for Lloyd.
Lloyd. I hope that somebody sends me a Lloyd body for Christmas.
I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna fill it with things to send to you.
All right, fill it with candy.
Yeah.
No, there was no Lightroom this week. No Lightroom Live. I was a little on the busy side. I still am. Sometimes the real job takes precedence because it pays a lot more than this.
It has the. That's definitely a thing. We should discuss, but I think this would be a great topic just before we bring Randall on.
Yeah.
You were the one to send me the Lloyd message in the middle of film. The scale news for me, like filming it, I drag my feet. I get home and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to finish cruising all the sites to find the information I need.
News.
And then I'm going to film. And I get it. And I sit here and I'm just like, ugh. And I screw around on my phone. Nicole will walk by 14 times going, "You're still not filming?" I'm researching. Like,
leave me alone. I'm working.
You're watching TikTok. So
no, I'm not.
Savage.
Yeah, but that me sending you, because I was like, well, I got to find the original message because that was probably key to the whole thing, and I just need to go back in time a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that was. I didn't even. I saw the message and I saw the photo of the body and I was like, oh, cool, perfect timing. I'm going to, and then I'm just like sitting there looking at it and I'm like, is it called the Lloyd?
I almost thought they were changing the name to Lloyd Concepts. But I sent Josh the picture, and then underneath 3 crying happy faces, that name Lloyd, and then more other things. But yeah, Lloyd.
Yeah. Oh my god. Travis says, "I'm sorry, I don't think anyone got my joke." Well, I should have to see it, but
I mean, over here, a lot of people are actually saying that they like that body.
I like the truck that they made the body after, and then they made that. And I don't know what happened to the roof on that thing.
Well, there's a lot of proportional issues on that thing.
That's
a J Concepts sort of trademark, you know?
You know what?
It's sort of like that thing.
It is a caricature of a Jeep Kaiser.
It's like someone drew a caricature, like, you know, like when you go to the marina or the fair Carnival. Or whatever, and they're like, "So, do you like roller skating?" No, mm-hmm. Sure you do, and they drive. Yeah. It's like somebody drew that, but then a real guy was like, well, "I guess that's what it looks like," and then drew it up and vacuum formed it. New Kaiser body was way better. Yes, I agree with you on that one, Gringo Bandito.
Oh, the Axial version. So, yeah, it was good, much better. It was very thin, but
yes, it looked good.
It did look good.
Oh, Dave Zilla is checking in. Said they got the new Cadillac J Concepts drag body in. It looks horrible. The barfing emoji.
I will say the Cadillac, they took some good photos of.
Yes, like I think it looks.
They took it from the angle that made it look narrower. All of their bodies are
super
just
wide.
like
it's like they designed half of it like in Fusion, and then just mirror.
It's like that girl you went to high school with. Like, she looks. You know what? She looks the same.
Good. She looks the same, just wider. Indeed. Yes, so that was the Lloyd. A great week for the news.
Yeah. No, it was a good week for the I mean, there was Red Cat with the out of nowhere lowrider.
Yeah.
Props for that.
Rolling on my 6.4. Somebody in here asked if that was going to be our next monthly mayhem.
Oh, it's such weird timing because we got those semis to do exactly that. Yeah. With the trailer, and now they kind of they stole our thunder, so we're just going to have to go something new.
Yeah.
But
oh well, I'll return all 18 of those servos in hand.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to use rockets, so I was obviously going to win again.
In fact, it might actually just to get like, the whole thing.
Just the whole thing is. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get Randall on here.
Sure. Well, you're
talk like this every week.
I know. It's always like this.
I am going to.
And since Randall's coming on, we can ask a lot of Axial related questions because there was a lot of speculation in that documentary at the end.
There was, which we ask all questions that Randall can't actually answer.
Yeah, exactly. Or he'll answer them and get in a lot of trouble.
Right. There, let's see.
What's up, guys?
Uh-oh. Hang on. Hey, look at you. You look like a true professional. I got to get this. 1 second here. This is too much.
Randall and I tested beforehand, and then now he's joined and everything changed.
It did, didn't it? Right? I pulled a Matt Cat.
Hey, I resemble that comment.
If you don't move, I can move for you.
No, it's okay. I got it.
You look great. Wow.
Yeah. A pro.
A true professional.
So, I lost audio again.
Oh, that's a horrible thing.
Poor guy. I'm just going to bring down your gamma a little bit because you're a little bit spicy. But hey, Randall, thanks for coming on the show, buddy.
Ah, you bet, man. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, good to have you. Where are you broadcasting from, pray tell?
I am in Aliso Viejo, California, in my cool little apartment home.
Nice. And just so everybody is 100% sure of what you do and where you work, why don't you tell everyone for the viewers?
Sure.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to see if I have an echo or not.
Oh, that's just how Josh sounds on every stream.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
I actually had an echo, and I was eavesdropping, by the way, just so you guys know. I already know what you were talking about. So, yes.
The Lloyd?
The Lloyd, yes. The new Kaiser, yes. The guy that talks a lot, yes. I know all about it.
You were excellent in the documentary, by the way. It's all in the editing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I just have to remember to take a breath now and then.
Yeah. All right. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from.
So, yeah, I've been with Axial for 13 years, and I've been all the way from the bottom of the ladder all the way to where I'm at now, which is a product developer. And as of late, some of the products that people might know about was the UMG 10, the Can-Am, the RR10 2.0, as it was dubbed. So the SCX 24 line, I brought that out, which has been a smashing product, like beyond what I thought would actually do. So my role changed quite a bit. I was involved in the R&D department for quite a long time. I did a lot of QC stuff, and I did a lot of instruction manual QCs and bill of material QCs and a lot of that stuff. And with the transitions to Horizon, I was able to move up into a product developer position, and I've had a blast so far. It's been great.
That's a pretty storied past.
Yeah, you kind of gone just kind of, I guess I think I had met you out there like in a West Coast qualifier back in 2010.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And it would have been a few years later after I met you, probably 2015 at Axial Fest, and I believe you were wearing a helmet as you were racing the Ultra.
Yes, the day of the Ultra 5K.
Those photos never go away.
No.
And that wasn't a 1 year. You often wear a helmet, it seems.
Well, yeah, that's usually for protection because I'm doing something stupid.
So, but that helmet, that all comes from your other gig, right? Which is the laser nut thing, right? So tell us a little bit about that.
So Cody and I, we've known each other for quite a while. We actually met through Axial. I was a judge at a We Rock competition, and Axial sponsored the event. And so I got to put up an Axial banner, and it was in the way on his course. And he actually remembered the banner because he couldn't hit it. He remembered the banner and reached out after the competition and, kind of asked what Axial did and what we were. And so at the time I was doing customer service. So I was able to tell him all about our product and how cool it is. And, he talked about his profession or his, hobby, which was rock crawling. And we just we kind of got together after the fact, after hours, and showed him what RC rock crawling was about. And he just dug it after that. So as it is now, we've been competing in the We Rock series and other rock crawling competitions where you have to dodge cones in real life. And I'm the spotter for him actively, and I've been behind the wheel a couple of times.
Very cool.
Yeah, you drove a couple of times last season, or was that this season?
No, it was last or the year before. I think you came to one of them.
Yeah, I was I went to the Donner event.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, Cody is the owner of Laser Nut, who has the Laser Nut Ultra 4 car as well. And then the cone dodging side, which is, yes, there you go.
Cone dodging is Pretty Penny, and U4 is the Laser Nut car, which that car's badass. That is hands down a car that I would pay full pop for.
Right. And the Laser Nut car, it's like, I mean, you've worked with Cody and all the, compete with him, but the Laser Nut car, the actual project, that one wasn't yours?
No, that was Ryan Dunford, because they decided to do it on Losi chassis, which was by far a better decision than trying to do a ground up axial chassis. It was way better to go that route. And I talked with Ryan on that project quite a bit, and he absolutely nailed every detail that needed to be nailed on that project. Ryan did a killer job on that thing.
There was a lot of fun scale details in that.
Big time.
So that was,
yeah.
That was cool to see. That is a fun car.
One of my more favorite releases of this year, if I'm honest.
I thought that release overall went really well.
Yeah.
Good
video that went with it.
The video shoot was great.
Mm-hmm.
I got a side story on the video shoot.
Oh yeah.
I was the driver most of the time in the 1-to-1 car.
Whoa!
Oh, really?
That's cool.
You got to now that is cool. I've got the chance to ride in that, but man, I can imagine driving that. Like,
yeah. There's a lot of video shoots there that I'm pretty stoked about. He offered to let me drive it, and I was like, absolutely, I will drive it. So I got to rip it around the desert, jam it through the whoops, and take it off a couple of cool jumps.
Nice. What a benefit to working at Axial. Who would have thunk it?
Right.
That is very cool.
Cody is a very generous person as far as his motorsports go. I mean, as far as I got to spend the day with him out in that LaserNet car and his dad's Bomber at the time. I don't know if his dad still has the Bomber or not.
No, it's gone.
Is it gone? I knew it was for sale.
I actually know who owns it now.
And then I see him letting people drive Pretty Penny all the time. Like,
yes. Yeah, we really like to let people have the opportunity to drive it. He is definitely a generous guy when it comes to that stuff. And we both talk a lot about, if we're ever out with the moon buggy and somebody asks to drive the moon buggy, we pretty much just don't say no. Unless it's busted or something, we want people to know what it's like. It's a gnarly car. That thing it's super, super capable, super stable, super safe, and it just helps the sport grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Giving people that opportunity is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's moon buggies in general on the rocks to see what competitors do in We Rock in the unlimited class, which is where that car runs. It's crazy to see. Like the ledge. I remember going to my first We Rock competition and seeing what those unlimited guys were doing. I'm just like, it's hard, you drop an RC car off of a ledge as tall as an RC car. It's like, okay, you get it. But when you have a dude sitting in there, you're just
yeah.
It takes some getting used to.
Yeah,
it does. There's a funny moment at the Donner event, and Josh, I don't know if you can remember it or not, but my wife Kimmy does the LaserNet live feeds typically when we're at a competition, and she happened to be doing a live feed, and we were. I was on the shootout course on a bonus line, and you pretty much had to kind of, punch it and send it up a ledge. And I was sitting there getting ready to go, and my spotter at the time, Dennis, was, telling me, hey, you're going to have to get it, and this was the first time I really drove the car in competition. And Kimmy pops up next to me, and she yells at me, and she says, Cody says, send it. And I was like, he's watching me on live feed. Like, oh no, I'm not comfortable with this now. But it was funny as heck. I wound up sending it and getting it up the hill, but it was definitely a nervous moment. Like, dude, it's your car. I don't want to do that.
The big drops are always the scarier ones to me than the big climbs.
You know what? I think both things are pretty scary. You know, I've done a limited amount of off-roading in my day, and especially when I'm not driving, there's a lot of holding on to everything.
Sure.
For people who've never been, well, and the competing, the We Rock side, we can get it. Also, you do some like Jeep guided tour stuff too, as well, right?
Sure. Yeah. I do. I'm a Jeeper. Basically, when the kind of a funny story is when the STX10 first came about, way back in the day, Matt Carney was actually taking measurements off of my TJ that was sitting out in the parking lot just to try to get the ladder frame, you know, kind of true to scale and stuff like that, and capture some of the bends and some of the features of an actual Jeep chassis. So I've been Jeeping for a long time. I kind of have lost count. It's 15 or 20 years or something like that. And I've been contracted with Jeep dealerships to do Jeep tours. I've started doing some of my own Jeep tours to take people out. And really what I do is teach people how to wheel and teach them how to have, you know, proper trail etiquette and the purpose of really putting your tires on the big rocks and why you want to air down and when you want to shift to 4 low and a lot of that stuff. So it's been fun, man. Anything outdoors and I'm in it, you know?
That's awesome.
Right. You've, there's a lot of, you know, it's kind of a small world in the motorsports side at the same time. I've never talked to you about it, and I heard it in passing. Maybe I'm misremembering. The crispy JK from Poison Spider. Did that start as something that you had a part in?
That was my Jeep.
Right?
Yes.
Like it was your original Jeep that burned to the ground.
My Jeep caught on fire behind the Axial RV.
Right.
There's a great campfire story for it. I will save it for a campfire time, not for this adventure. But the damn thing caught on fire behind the Axial RV, and there was a fiasco to get it detached from the RV so the RV didn't catch on fire. And
oh my God.
Poison Spider, Larry McRae, and myself made a deal to where he acquired the chassis, he acquired the burnt Jeep, and he converted it and made it into what's known now today as Crispy.
Yeah, and that
name is not lost on me either. I get it. That's pretty funny.
And you know, the Crispy Jeep, the actual build thread to that Jeep was one of like my favorite build threads ever done on Pirate.
It's amazing.
It was so detailed and going through the whole story, and then later finding out like, oh, that was.
Yeah, right. Oh,
I've never heard the whole together.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was kind of segue into the Poison Spider Wraith.
Right.
That came about. That was through the relationship that Larry and myself had, and off-roading and stuff like that. So there's
right. That's such a small little.
There's a lot of little ties.
Yeah. I was actually in California for the West Coast qualifier. I think it was in 2010, it was January of 2010. And it was the day the Axial RV got delivered.
Oh.
That was when you guys were, I think you guys were in the Goodyear building.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
So, it was just a small little office bay with a little warehouse in the back. Mm-hmm. It was like, this is Axial. I'm like,
That's yeah. I tell you the early days and Matt, I don't know if you saw it in some of the highlight reels or the B-roll stuff you were going through, but one of the cool stories way back in the day was before Goodyear, we were over off Bake, and we had a very small warehouse, Bake Parkway, and we had a very small warehouse, and we were moving product so fast that we didn't have time to put it into the warehouse. And in all honesty, we didn't have the space to put it in the warehouse. So we had people talk about doing like cross dock shipping and stuff like that. Well, we were doing cross truck shipping. We actually had trucks backed up against to each other, and we were hucking RC cars from one container to the UPS freight truck because we had nowhere to put them. And we were slapping labels on them, and they were going right into the freight truck and on the road.
Yeah, those are the early good days, I think, when you guys were basically like, I don't know, you guys want to make RC trucks now? Sure.
Right.
This might be a thing. I don't know.
This might be
the
cool.
AX10 was a hell of a hit.
Oh man.
In the
And all the variants that came afterwards too, because it didn't stop at just the AX10 Scorpion. There was
well, yeah, there was the Buzzard RTR was the second one. Then there was
the Buzzard. Sorry, the Buzzard and the B17 body. All of those were actually nitro bodies.
That's right,
if you remember right.
Yeah,
and and super thick.
Yes,
like they were like the Buzzard body. The clear ones were like they were like a 5th scale shell. I mean, they were like damn near hard bodies.
Were they like 060? I think they were like 060 or something. They were thick.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
I've had one, and just like you get like they don't have any bend to them. Like,
maybe we need to go back to that.
Yeah, hey, maybe. I mean, is the Betty that going to be sort of thick? Because I have one showing up tomorrow.
Could you imagine an SCX24 B17 Betty with an 060 body?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not even talking about the SCX24. I'm getting one of the original bodies shipped to me.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, well.
Where'd you find that
I found it on eBay in Japan.
Oh.
Of course. Yeah, but I am going to paint it up and put it on SMT10 and make a nice little monster truck out of it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the SCX24?
I think it looks great. I think it looks really great.
I was super excited to see it. I bought one as soon as I saw it, got it ordered right away.
I think I might be getting one. Somebody might be
profile.
sending me one as part of payment for having to listen to Randall talk for 20 minutes.
You're down at the bottom of the list then, because the freebies don't go out anywhere.
All right.
It was cool to see the details, like the mini rock lizards, like going not just a body, but mini rock lizards and Rockstar style wheels. That, or for people who didn't know, the original Axial wheels were called Rockstars. Before Rockstar wheels were Rockstar.
Yeah, exactly.
Rockster.
Rockster.
Yeah, it wasn't
Rockstar.
It wasn't Rockstar.
SEER.
What?
Yeah.
Have I literally been saying that wrong for like
20 years?
Probably. It's like people who say Axel Wrath. Right, Josh?
Yes.
I guess.
Now he's Googling it just to be sure.
Yeah,
am.
He totally did.
You can hear him clacking away on his mechanical keyboard.
I swore those were called Rockstar wheels.
I'm
gonna have to go edit 10,000 posts on our site.
It's all right. Nobody's checking that thread anyway, Josh. But yeah, it's a nice release. It's a cool release too, that it's a limited edition. There's a coin that comes with it, which I thought was a nice little commemorative touch.
Yep.
I think most of the people who started in this hobby around that era, early 2000s, they're sort of like, this is kind of going back to the roots a little bit and showing off the heritage and the history of the company. And it's nice that you guys did something for the 15-year anniversary. It's very cool.
Yeah, I was pretty proud to take that project on, just because I've been around since the early days. I thought it was really cool, and I knew, we really needed to capture some of the cool details. We actually had to send the B17 Betty body over to the vendor so they could scan it and start working on the tooling, or start working on the mold, the solid part design. And then we had to get it back, and we had to proof it and double check it and make sure the details were right and stuff like that. So it actually turned out to be kind of a long process just to even get the body going.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Yeah, it's never quick.
Who pitched it?
That's a good question.
The concept.
That's a really good idea. A really good question. Yeah, good question. I don't know. It might have been because it was probably Todd, because they were talking about doing the limited release of the Losi Mini T and stuff like that. And so I think it just kind of came around as we were talking about doing the 15-year anniversary and stuff like that, that I think he probably was like, hey, maybe we do an old B17. And he probably kicked it off, I think. Yeah. But then it just became kind of a collaboration amongst all of us to figure out what would be the best way to do it and how we should do it and what chassis to put it on and all that. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, honestly, the SCX20, like, it's super fitting. I totally. I mean, I of course we're all on the internet. No matter what you release, there's going to be the what you should
have done.
Always.
Why isn't it on TVPs?
Right. So like, yeah, it was originally a TVP comp crawler. Like, I think the SCX-24 was just a fantastic. Like, it's a commemorative.
Well, there's a great thing about it is the price point. You know, you can get a little piece of history for not a lot of change, right? And not everybody wants a comp crawler again anyway. Certainly not an AX-10.
Well, like the comments are in here. Like, well, right now it's like, here's the problem. Like, do you open it or do you like?
That's the big question for me.
It's like everybody's got to buy two. You have to buy two. You have to have one on the shelf. It's closed, and you play with one.
Right. That's it exactly.
Have you? The thing about the B17 and why we chose to do it on the SX24 was really how many people kept the B17 body on the old AX10 chassis. I don't think many people did because it wasn't a crawler fitted body, right? It was a cool body, but everybody was trying to get it narrowed, dovetailed, and snout nose and shorten it up and thin it up. So,
and in those days, we were trying to be competitive.
Yep.
And for a decent chunk of time, back in the it's kind of like it is now. It was it's different than it is now in a way. Like, we were having to take and buy something and then try and make it competitive by doing crazy things with parts that just weren't available. You couldn't just buy parts. The AX10 was the first thing that you could buy and like assemble together and be like, oh, this is actually kind of like what a crawler would be already.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. But we kept changing and modifying from there. Most of us ended up with an axle and a transmission in the end,
And that was about it.
I bet back then, like, half of those, if not more, of those Betty bodies never got painted.
Well, that's why you can still find so many nowadays unpainted. Because people just held on to them.
Those bodies were free because everybody got them. Like, I've got 5 Betty bodies. Does anybody need to buy? Like, no, I don't want another Betty body. And now Matt pays $130 plus shipping from Japan.
Well, quiet, but yes,
Canadian.
Yeah. Well,
did you really pay $130 for that body?
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yep.
Oh,
it's pretty much right on the money.
Really?
Yeah. Right on the money.
Man.
And happy to as well.
Like Nostradamus over here.
That's pretty good.
Rich Trujillo wanted to quickly chime in here and say that any of the good ideas are his and all the bad ones are Randall's. So,
yeah, no, not a chance.
I've seen some of the ideas Rich has had. So
he's a Toyota guy.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Gross. Exactly. Hey, I like Toyotas.
Actually all Jeep people.
Oh yeah, that's true. We all have Jeeps. Some of us have Jeeps. Others have monstrosities. They like to.
I have a JK and
a truck.
My Gladiator.
Yeah, a truck.
Thank you.
It's a truck.
Oh, you have a Toyota?
No. I have a Gladiator and then I have the JK.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Gladiator.
So he's a wannabe overlander.
Yeah,
you can get some sand ladders and put them right back there.
Yes.
Or a wannabe Jeeper because he's got a truck.
Right. I have so many roto packs to find out where to mount.
I got a few more I could send you if you want.
They're all the kerosene ones though, which is odd. Right. I like the color of them.
They're the only ones I could get in the color one. Right.
I have 3 roto packs that are sitting in my garage.
Oh, send one. I want one. Yeah. Just giving them away.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I'm going through a couple of questions here. Jacob.
So, did you see the interior box design of the SX24?
I only saw it listed on the Tower Hobby site. I haven't actually seen.
Is it a garage? It's a car hole, right?
Yeah, it's like the inside of a garage.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Did a little bit extra there, just trying to give something.
Most people will never know, Randall, because they're not going to open them.
Well, you can see it. It's clear window. You can see it.
Can you see the serial number from the outside of the box?
Oh, good question.
Yes.
You can?
Oh, that's man.
Cherry pickers.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Now I'm
Matchbox owners.
I'm stuck with 9,889. Great.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be worse.
Oh, people are gonna be looking for 420 or 6969. Yep.
right?
Totally.
My birth year, my birthday. Come on.
Oh man,
that's fantastic. I love
but
it.
I will also say, from the vendor, I know that they are randomly packaged, so you have no idea.
Shoot.
If a hobby shop gets a box of 8, you don't know what serial numbers are in there. It's random.
Interesting. And it is up to 9,999. That's the last number.
Correct.
Okay.
Did you get to keep number 1 or 2? No.
What?
Number 1 is we did find number 1, and number 1 is going to go to a raffle or a some sort of thing special that Horizon's
the
doing.
charity giveaway thing. Yeah, that's
a
smart.
charity giveaway. Yeah, they're doing something cool for that. So I wished I could have got number 2. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
You know, back in the heydays of Axial, we always had, you know, we allocated one to corporate archive, 2 to the designer that designed the product, and then it went down the line 3 and 4 to everybody on the team. But we don't get to do that anymore. So
nuts.
Rich said it's going to Hobbies for Good.
Hobbies for
There
Good.
it is.
That's the one.
Right.
It was in the
Hobbies for Good.
documentary. I remember now.
Yep.
That is cool.
There's some proceeds of the sales from those 9,999 that are also going to Hobbies for Good.
Very cool.
Cool.
Very cool indeed.
Yeah, that's it's going to be cool just to see the serial number thing. It's like, honestly, you know, it's a little thing, but it's fun, and it's just another little piece of excitement. I get it. That's
I'm just curious to see how fast they sell out. I don't know the numbers. I don't watch the numbers very much at all. So I would be surprised if they're already sold out. But I'm curious to see how fast it goes, because that's a lot of units to move in a short amount of time.
It is, but you couldn't be releasing them at a better time.
The timing is perfect.
The whole thing is that, you know, like, some of the good numbers are going to go to these 8-year-olds for Christmas that have no idea what they're getting. Like, you little,
I don't want this.
I wanted the yellow one.
Dad's going to be over there screaming, "Don't open it!"
But it's going to turn into one of those things like, "Look what I found at a garage sale for $6. Number 7, Betty."
That is crazy.
Yeah, you've just created a whole subgenre of the market again.
Somebody painted it with nail polish on the body.
They put googly eyes on it.
Yeah. We've done that a time or two, creating new genres, haven't we?
A couple of times. I mean, most of them were flukes, but
you never know which one's going to take off. So you got to try
that's
it.
totally true, and that's one of the great things about Axial, I think, is that they push the boundaries of what was out there. And with that in mind, I think we can ask this question. One of my viewers was asking, with the release of the Red Cat lowrider, do you think Axial is going to get into that market? No?
You know,
wait.
You know, I'll say, I'm going to drop somebody's name. Paul Valdez had a lowrider at Axial Fest, and it was a legit SCX-10 lowrider, and that I thought it was pretty cool. Chromed, you know, it had knockoffs or Daytons, it had hydros on it. Like, that thing was, and it was sitting on an SCX-10 chassis. That thing was pretty rad.
It was very legitimate. I remember seeing that and just being kind of blown away by it.
Even though I'm from the lowrider days, I don't want to really go there. We may have a new genre coming out next year, and I'll just leave it at that.
See, this is why you tune into this channel, guys.
Exactly. Get it. I would like to just say that one of the viewers just jumped on. He says, "Just joined. Who is this? Dustin Hoffman's double?"
He does. You know what? Dustin Hoffman? Never thought of that. But
that's close, right?
That's not the first time. I will say that.
Randall, are you trying to seduce me?
If you like Dustin Hoffman, yes, because I like you.
But for those who don't know, Randall Davis is a product developer at Axial now, but he's been with them since the early days. How many years did you say you've been there now?
13 years.
13 years.
13. 07 is when I started.
So, yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
That's
been around the block, made a lot of things happen behind the scenes.
Moved a lot of boxes in the early days. Nick LaRusso wants to know if, and I'm sure you can't answer this, but how about, or actually maybe he's posing this to everybody, but how about a UMG 10 SCX-10 III on the SCX-10 III platform with a shorter wheelbase, UMG 10?
Wait, did we just say shorter wheelbase UMG 10?
Yeah,
yeah. I thought the UMG 10 was pretty short to begin with.
No. No. Keep it at that short wheelbase is what I mean. Like a shorter SCX-10 III.
Oh, okay.
Calm down.
Sorry.
I mean, what do we need to do there? Body posts? It's not real hard.
No.
You know, that's not too bad.
Hinging,
already made
hinging back
that
thingy, and that's it.
That actually was, I don't know if I said it earlier, but that was one of my projects as well. I don't know. It didn't sit well with me, the UMG.
Oh yeah?
I mean, it was cute, but I'm a crawler guy, so when it comes to look at Matt's eyes,
I was like, what?
I'm a crawler. Yeah, I'm a crawler guy. So when it comes to full blown scale realism and stuff like that, I start to get drawn away a little bit, just because I look at it like, well, it can't do what I can do in my Jeep. Like it's now limited, and the body's too big, and I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things where it's a cool truck. I have one. I have, like, the one in the box was mine, and I put a new body on it. I actually put some, I can't say that. I put some other stuff on it that we were prototyping, and it's sitting on a shelf collecting dust now, just because I'm like, why would I drive that? The body's too big.
I feel like Randall and I pair at the exact same, like, 100%.
I like it though. I like the UMG 10. I had it out a couple weekends ago, and I was remarking to myself that, because it's on Vanquish Portals now, how great it is that it's on Portals, and it just seems natural to me that if you're gonna have a Portal axle chassis, you should do a UMG 10 to go, okay, we did it, get off our backs.
Right.
But does it now sit too tall?
Well, it's pretty tall, but I put 80 mil shocks on it to bring it back down again.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
So,
and then Matt put 2.4-inch tall tires on it, so that it was
2.4s.
There, what are they? What's the Pro Line tire?
3.85 isn't small enough
Ow!
to be tiny tire.
Come on.
Tiny tire hipster.
They're 4.19s.
So here's a tidbit in the product video. There is a clip in there that we played forward, but I actually drove the car in reverse. Did you pick up on that?
I've pulled that one.
Amazing. That's great.
So if you haven't picked up on it before, go watch it. The video's still out there. I think you should go try to watch it and figure out what minute mark is the reverse move.
I love it. That's great. Yeah, definitely go back, find it.
It was funny.
Put the timestamp in the comment when you find it, guys, because I want to pull that back out. A couple of questions here real quick, and I don't know that, Randall, you have any kind of numbers or any dates on this sort of thing, but people are asking about AR60s with bigger inner pinion bearings. Is that ever going to be a thing, or is the AR60 axle pretty much EOL?
I think the AR60 is probably where it's at. I don't know if we'll do a running change or a hop-up mod or anything like that to it. I think it's probably going to stay where it's at.
All right.
Yeah.
Figured as much.
Mean, that came out in 2010 as well.
Dude,
right?
It was way back.
Way back.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was mid 2010.
We got a lot of life out of that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I remember when the Wraith came out. The Wraith was another one of those kind of game change. I hate that term, but like it was totally different.
Innovative.
It was scale with a full depth interior and separate seats, and then these bigger axles. And at the time, we really didn't have any axles that were one piece like that.
Right.
But for the Wraith, almost everything we had were clamshell axles, whether vertically or front to back.
Sure.
So this new, with a drop-in differential setup, and it was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
They were completely new. It was so cool. And I mean, I was in love with the Wraith until the Bomber came out, which was 2015.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and even then, it still used the AR-60.
Right, and it kind of revitalized that whole width again, because the Wraith was kind of at that point when the Bomber came out. people would always go, well, what do I get, a Wraith or a Bomber? It's like, well, do you want to go fast or do you want to roll over?
Right.
You know, it's just the Bomber was basically everything that I was trying to do with my Wraith.
Exactly. Yes.
So
I was like, finally,
it was just
the thing I wanted.
Like, oh, here we go.
We did, I don't know if you guys remember it, but we did a blog post about a Wraith that had the cage chopped off in the back and a spare tire. So I did that when the Wraith first came out. I was at home and looking at it, and I was like, you know, it needs a spare tire and it needs kind of this Ultra 4 look and this and that and the other. And I chopped it and kind of raised some eyebrows and raised some hairs and you know, got some little tinglies and some spines and whatnot, and weren't quite sure what to do with it because it changed the look of the car. But all of a sudden we decided, hey, let's just do a blog post about it and make it like, hey, here's an alternative of what you could do. And then all of a sudden everybody started chopping the back half of the cage.
Everybody was doing the fastback. I remember an article in RC Car Action all about how to do it. I was like, just cut it off.
Yeah, it had a bit of a station wagon look.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they call it, you know, family cage in off-road, you know, 4-seat versus 2-seat type stuff.
Yeah.
It had that family buggy look, and which I think that the full-size one had a bench in the back.
Oh, did it?
Jake's rig, I don't think it did.
I thought it had a bench. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I think it was still a 2-seater, but it had a cooler and stuff in the back.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could be
I can't remember. I could have swore it had the little bench, but yeah. It just, you know, it was a different adaptation. And then once you started cutting it down, it's like the Wraith could look so different with just a few little things here and there. And people found so many ways to do it.
Oh, yeah.
There were a lot of cool mods, and a lot of people did a lot of really awesome stuff with theirs. I had a lot of fun with mine when I had it, but as soon as the Bomber came, I was like, okay, no more Wraiths for me. Got another question here, and I haven't been following, but you probably might have a little more insight on this, Randall. Light Bright. They got a couple of Axial Jeeps in the past to sort of have some sort of sponsorship or you know, promotional consideration. They have a Bomber now, and are you?
They own Cody's dad's old Bomber.
Okay, so
that is Cody's
dad's.
Okay. I thought they bought Stinger Motorsports for some reason.
Well, it went to Stinger first, I believe.
Oh, that was Stinger's. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
So are they sponsoring that, or is Axial sponsoring that Bomber in some way?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right.
I think that they did actually do something with Axial this last week.
Oh, no kidding.
They may. If
like
they have, it just hasn't come down my pipeline yet.
Right. I think it's one of those. I'd actually got that. The only reason I've actually.
You're in the know, not me.
I saw one of their videos for like the first time this week. It's just not. I don't follow them. But they're just like, oh, I see they're sponsored by Axial. I'm like, well, Axial actually supports a lot of full-size cars. Like Bailey Cole has always ran an Axial sticker on the side. Cody has always ran an Axial sticker on the side for years.
What about Casey Curry?
And now finally he has the LaserNet car, but it wasn't that for a long time. It was just.
Dude, even way back, we had Shannon Campbell running Axial stickers.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I mean, you guys have had stickers on tons of people, and not, you know, Axial's just very involved in that market as well. I mean, like when you have enthusiasts there, it happens, and so I don't know that you're looking for the light bright livery with, you know, scale bikini girl come in the box. Like it's.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Bikini girl. I might not be into scale trucks, but scale bikini girls.
Quack RC tossed me $5. Thanks very much. I miss my Bomber. Well, you can still get them.
Get one.
You can still get them.
2.0.
Get them while they last.
Yep.
That's I just finished my redo of my last Bomber.
Oh, cool.
It's not much of a Bomber anymore, though.
It's still a Bomber.
Well, kinda, because it sort of looks like one, but it's mostly not any Axial parts.
There's still stock axle housings on there
for now.
What's not Bomber about it anymore?
Well, everything.
I mean, I changed. It's yeah. Okay.
It's got a lot of carbon fiber on it now, and I don't think that's how it comes from the factory.
Yeah, definitely no carbon fiber from the factory.
Hey, Moose Jaw RC was asking if you, Randall, were part of judging for the virtual Axial Concourse.
Yes, I am actually. I have been. We talked about that early on about doing the Axial Concourse, and I am one of the select few that gets to stare at a bunch of photos and try to pick which ones are the coolest and which ones aren't. It's been really fun. I was part of the concourse last year at Axial Fest, and I've enjoyed doing it. I think a year before that or so I was part of it. Definitely not as seasoned as some of you guys are just because of what you guys do. But it's still fun to me to look, as kind of a blank page look for me, because I'm not in it. I like to really look at the cars like I've never seen them before, never seen that trick done, what's going on here, and see what really catches my eye.
Very
so
cool.
It's been fun staring at a lot of pictures.
Yeah, definitely. And Moose Jaw wants to also extend a thank you because you must have voted for his truck to be a part of one of the finalists. That's very cool. Thank you, Moose Jaw.
Well, I had missed where that was going on.
On the internet.
It's on it's on the internet, bro. Don't you live there?
I mean, I try. I get around.
On the Axial Facebook page, every week they've been doing a virtual Axial concourse, and they've had the categories from like we've had in the past at Axial Fest. We've had all the categories, so we've been doing a bunch of contests.
I did see some of that, I think, a little while ago, but I thought it was like an extension of the last Axial Fest, and then just
No, it's just been a whole virtual since we didn't have Axial Fest on the West. It's been that whole gig. What do you got there?
The eSEMA train, right? But the bomber is, I mean, it's turned into just being just as versatile as the Wraith, but it's crazy what some of these guys are making. This is like a whole carbon fiber rear section of the cage.
Okay,
it goes in. You cut out all the plastic in the back. It gives you this. You put this sway bar in. It's all bearing supported. It gives you a ton of travel. It's an all new skid plate with an all new transmission and a forward motor mount.
Oh, nice.
Super low. And then I mean, links, shocks. So the cage is still there. Some of it.
That's bummer-esque.
And the axle housings are still stock.
So what you could have bought, Josh, was the axle housings.
And a cage. And it's got stock panels.
So here's what you need to do is you need to enter that into an Ultra 5K and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, it would dominate an Ultra 5K if it was not held back by the gimpy.
Right.
Exactly.
So there you
That's
go.
where I was at.
And that is because that is built basically just like Jake Wright built his.
Right.
Nice. Yeah.
So
that guy's fast.
Yeah. And I mean, I think you could give him almost anything and he would give most people a really good run for their money.
Yes.
Yeah. That guy's fast.
Very fast.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was thrilled with my 12th. I think I finished 12th in both of them back to back.
Overall or age group?
Hey. Overall, smart guy. I wasn't wearing a helmet though, so.
That was probably the dumbest thing. The only cool thing about wearing the helmets was Cody and I could still talk to each other.
You had the
Bluetooth.
Right.
You had your comms still.
Yeah. So we could run away from each other and get a little bit ahead and still talk to each other. And you'd hear one of us get on the radio and be like, dude, how did you get through this obstacle? And you'd be like, oh, there's just a line to the left that you need to hook the tire on. And we'd chit chat. And then we just kept crisscrossing and, chasing each other. It was
you
fun.
had your fresh air being pumped in too, which is always really helpful.
That would have been nice. I needed oxygen up there.
You're pumped.
If you guys are just joining us, this is Randall Davis from Axial, and he's one of the more long-standing employees and is now in product development and is responsible for a lot of the great stuff that you guys love and have on your workbench probably right now.
And I have a great question here or a comment that will lead into a solid question here. It's a hobby who I've actually met out in Indiana. He was saying, showing the guy who spent hours designing the bomber, you hacked his design up. But
but not true.
One of the designer who did the bomber, I actually work with every day.
Yes.
But and I think it leads to a great is we've talked with Rich about it, who we all know as well. But when your product manager position, kind of run through what that is for people, like big picture, not to take a specific project.
Oh my gosh.
Where do you come into the process, and then where do you see it through?
Oh man, it's in its entirety. I come into it when it's still a pencil scratch on a piece of paper, in its very initial, hey, let's make one of these, and I see it all the way till it gets to the video producer and the product launch. I mean, it's a huge undertaking.
You work with a product designer who is going through and doing the CAD work and things like that, and then you're test fitting sample parts, finding issues, relaying that back to the designer.
Yes. So a lot of what we do as a product developer is we'll work with the engineers that are designing, the CAD designers that are designing the product. And a lot of my job is to kind of key in on the features of the vehicle that we're replicating or of the vehicle that we're designing, and give it the style and the design, and make sure that we capture some of those key features. So like you might see on the UMG 10 or even on the Jeeps that we've designed, as a product developer, you have to know the product that you're building to make sure that you're capturing all the features that make it look like the real thing or what you're trying to replicate. So it's a huge process. Like, we work with the vendors, we work with the sample parts, we test fit, we get the preliminary body choice colors. One of the projects, actually this week, I'm supposed to get sample colors, but I've picked 5 different colors, and so we'll sample the bodies in 5 different colors, and then we'll get them, and we'll narrow it down to the 2 best, based on the research that we've done and how the vendor's been able to produce them. And right, like, that was a sample color right there. So it's everything, and then it's bill of materials.
And that new one you're getting this week.
Yes. Yeah, that new
one you're getting this week. That's which project?
That's the SCX-24 B17 Betty. That's the one he's getting.
Quiet.
I think that's it. That's not it. Who shipped it to you?
Yeah, no, that's not it. I don't know.
Right. No, I'm not.
I got one for you, Josh.
I'm not jealous.
Perfect.
I'm Josh.
Hey, I bought one. There was no way I was risking it.
No, of course not.
That was.
I've already ordered one too. Or I'm about to.
Internet size keeps jumping around.
Yeah, you're all over the place there. We had a couple of questions here. Any idea of when the straight axle release is coming for the 10.3?
I have a great idea for when that's coming.
I love it. Yes, it is definitely a thing. Okay,
it is a thing. It's coming. It's coming relatively quickly. I've done a lot of testing. That actually was a project that landed on my lap to deal with, which was fun to deal with. It was kind of like a spaghetti platter when I got it. Here's some stuff. Let's put it in order, and and I'm not going to blame Rich, but I mean, he handed it to me.
Oh, nice.
Here's your Cincinnati chili, sir.
I had a donation here from somebody from Backyard Slick, and he says, any of you guys going to USTE in February in Florida? Also, can I get a shout out for Nat, Santi, and Kev?
Oh,
thank you guys for watching.
Give me a shout out.
But I think on the event side, I mean, I know right now for you, Randall, travel horizon limits that pretty significantly at this point, right?
Yeah, they pretty much have a ban on corporate travel. So if we go anywhere, it's basically on our own dime and the things that we can fit into our schedule, and we got to take our own time and do it. So we still go to events. A lot of the events that I did with Cody were all on my own dime, off time and stuff like that. So that's still in play. I don't know when or if that's ever going to go away. I mean, it's kind of weird. They, corporate just doesn't want to be liable of somebody getting sick or spreading something,
Yep. I get it.
That makes sense.
Are you working remotely still for the most part?
I am. I've been working from home since March.
Gotcha. Is that why you got such a nice mic there? You wanted to be super clear in your Zoom call?
So this mic actually came from a buddy of mine because he does podcasts in a different genre, and he wanted to do a podcast. He wanted to have me on the show, and I said, "Well, I don't have a mic." Well, he upgraded his whole studio setup to like some high tech. I mean, dude, he has like a 60-inch curved screen and like a drop mic and like sound deadening. Like he's got all this stuff. So this was just happened to be spare, and he's like, "Well, I'll give it to you, and you plug it in and hook it up." So,
wow, you must be.
Was that on the podcast you were just on recently?
No, we haven't even had the right timing yet.
Oh man,
gotcha. I was gonna say, I think weren't you just on Wheel and Wine and Whiskey?
I was, and man, that was a hoot. If you guys haven't watched it, that was a whole lot of fun. That was Cody and I were at Trail Hero and Wheel and Wine and Whiskey. Jason came over and did a podcast interview with us. That was a blast. I had a whole lot of fun with that guy. I'm having a lot of fun with you guys too as well. So don't get jealous.
Oh well, shucks. Thanks.
But that was kind of I guess the first podcast that I was on. So it was a lot of fun to be there.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's a great podcast as well.
Robert,
for full-size podcast, Wheel and Wine and Whiskey, and then Wyatt Pemberton's Talent Tank, also great.
Talent Tank, yep.
Okay.
I did one actually just yesterday it's called Conversations with Big Rich. I just did that. He is the promoter of We Rock, and he's been doing podcasts as well. So I just did one with him, and then I've got another one scheduled for Racing on the Rocks that I should be on as well. So
I don't know that one. I didn't know Big Rich had a podcast. That's interesting. I'll have to look that up.
It's a little bit new, but he's been going after week after week after week, and he's got a lot of the old full size rock crawler guys and guys that have been around, and people that have been rock crawling since they were in diapers. So
very cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
That's actually cool. I'll have to look at that. Rich is a hustler. I mean, he's been either trying to get a TV show or videos. Like, it is really. Yeah, I think we kind of, in our genre, we kind of suffer from it as well. Like, it's sometimes hard to make rock crawling exciting.
That brings up a really good term.
So slow and like meticulous,
right?
And you're looking at this. You might spend 2 minutes on your 10-minute course trying to get your car over another 3 inches so you don't hit the cone. Like,
right. I use a term when I'm teaching people how to wheel, and the term that I use is, if it looks boring, you're doing it right.
Yes, when it's exciting is when things are
exciting.
Things are breaking. Things are getting hurt.
Yeah.
But for people who haven't been in like a full-size vehicle wheeling in something like fairly technical, it's amazing how nerve-wracking or adrenaline pumping you can like going 4 miles an hour and being just absolutely sweating bullets.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because there's a lot of things at work there. Your vehicle and putting in the right place is part of it. Your personal safety and limits to what you feel comfortable doing is another, and the value of all the stuff that you might be breaking. Like when I in my last outing, which is it's not super technical, and I stay like, it goes green, blue, black, red. I'm usually on the blues, and that's where I'm pretty comfortable. But there were a few points
in the class 1 trails.
Yeah, exactly. There were a few points where people ahead of me were like, I'm like, he's going to break something really badly. And it makes you feel so nervous. But so I can only imagine when you scale it up to even like more extreme levels, it's like, I don't like to break things.
So like when I kind of got into the off-road side, it was with a good friend of mine and a coworker, and like it was basically, when I got into it, was buggy level. Like we were already in buggies,
right,
or even full body trail rigs that are basically trail rigs only, though. They might look pretty decent, but they're for the trail. So it was just like, the first trails that I went on were very technical, very interesting. And it was just, it got me into that. And then I started spotting in We Rock.
Right.
But we were in stock mod. So it's, you know, it's like, oh, we rolled the thing over again this weekend. Like,
right.
Like, I had a different perspective. You know, and it was,
yeah. My perspective has completely changed from how I would wheel my Jeep to how I used to wheel my Jeep to how I now know I can drive a vehicle through something, but my Jeep does not have the capability to actually get through it.
Right.
It's completely changed.
Yeah.
I've gotten spoiled.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when you're driving little pretty pennies on 42-inch BFG stickies, right? Or is he 40s?
No, can't lose with 42s.
Right. He's on the 42s, stickies, on portals.
Right.
Portals.
With four-wheel steer.
Yep.
Like, what's the
list goes on.
The shooting brake?
Guess how much weight?
Cutting
Cutting brake.
brake.
Air lockers and cutting brakes.
Yeah. And how much weight is in each front tire?
So you run 300 pounds in each front tire?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
300 pounds.
Water or lead?
That's lead shot.
Lead shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that truck at Axial Fest? Did you guys bring that? Yeah, you did. Yep. 2017 or 2018.
Yeah, the last time we were at Donner, it was there.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we took it up and had some people drive it around too.
Cool. Hey, Robert Willis.
A couple more.
Yeah, sorry, let me get a question out here. Robert Willis sent me $5. Thank you very much. Huge fan of Axial and was wondering if the Wraith 1.9 is going to be available again. Wants one, but they're out of stock everywhere.
They should be back in stock. We haven't discoed that at all. It's still out there.
Okay. All right.
A couple of donations. Quack RC, thank you. Popped over here to get a donation. Appreciate that. But Gene Masters, also a donation, says, has Randall been down under and looked at our full-size 4x4 culture? Maybe get some ideas? Here, Josh, take my money. Thank you, Gene Masters. But on that, the Australian 4x4 culture, the way they build their rigs, their competitions, very interesting. I usually follow is it the Tough Truck stuff? Do you ever follow that, Reno?
Yep.
Because Jesse goes down there and competes. Friend of mine, Justin Hall, would go down there every once in a while and compete. But they're Australia. They build some super flexy rigs. Like
that. I think they have some. Yeah, I think they have some weird constraints as well. I shouldn't say weird, but some different constraints as well. But I have not been down under in that fashion. But I would love to go to Australia. That would be fantastic to go out there and check out what they have over there. Cody and I have talked a couple of times about going over there to compete, but just never kind of panned out. But I'd love to go over there. That'd be great.
Boy, the logistics of getting over there would be insane. Like with a rig, that would be a challenge.
Yeah. I don't know if Cody will actually do that again. His rig got kind of trapped over in Japan after the Trail Hero Japan event, and it sat kind of seaside in a yard that did not do it any bit of good, and it had to have a lot of TLC applied to it after the fact because it was not in pretty penny shape. So I don't know if he'll do it again.
It is crazy to me, like just to see the difference. Like me, I'm from the Midwest. You know, I was born and raised in Nebraska, then lived in Missouri for 10 years or whatever. But like the West Coast, so many, like you go to KOH, 3/4 of the cars are just, the chassis are bare metal. They're like, it's just like, and like in Nebraska, it's like,
oh, that would never
once you
last.
get done cutting, you better get ready for primer.
Yeah.
Because it is already rusting. Like, and out here, it's just like, no, that's fine.
Yeah, we did a competition this past year. So Cody and I did the We Rock Series East and West, and we were able to take the national title for the East and the national title for the West. And we went to all the East Coast competitions. So we went out to Texas, and we went out to Pennsylvania, and we went out to Tennessee, and it was definitely different. And, you know, everybody over there would look at Pretty Penny and ask that same question. Is this bare metal? Like, really? It's just unprotected? And we're like,
right.
Yeah, we're from SoCal, like we're from the desert.
Like, it's fine. It doesn't change. Like, yeah, it's insane to see that out east at all. You know, like, it's.
You don't.
Yeah, that was.
I just got through putting 2 cans of what's that stuff? Like, it's like a wool oil spray, like to undercoat the entire Jeep because the salt here.
2 cans.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
On your scaler?
No, on the real thing.
Yeah. No, just on his chair. Just to try and keep his freaking chair from squeaking.
Yeah, it's pretty good today. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Matt, are you in a basement?
No. Yes.
What is that? What is the spigot behind you?
Oh, don't turn that. You don't want to turn that.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was like a scale accessory or not.
Exactly. It would be. Everybody wonders that because it would be something very Matt to do. Like, you know what? A copper pipe would look cool on this wall.
Steampunk. Yeah. No, it's
copper pipe and some Edison bulbs, and I'll be complete.
Yes. I had an Edison bulb in here. Where did it go?
Well,
that's for outdoor water source. So
while you're searching, if you guys didn't capture or see any pictures from Lasertown Screaming or Dreaming, that was our Halloween party. I will take a second to just say that was a phenomenal, absolutely blast of a party that you guys should have attended from wherever you're at. There was no holds barred, if that's the right way to put it. Mm-hmm. I was dressed as sort of like a steampunk MC for the event.
I saw those figure pictures. Out what your costume was.
I was like, he's some sort of top-hatted man.
I know. I was just like, I was like, is it a character from something specific? I couldn't.
Just made up. It was just a really ridiculous Amazon purchase. That was the first time I think I spent about $400 on costume stuff from Amazon, and was like, let me try all this crap on, and then what doesn't work, I'll return it. And I returned it all, and what I haven't really told anybody was the stuff that I returned, I only got back $130.
Wow.
So I don't know how much I spent on my costume, but it was,
I can do math.
I think it's $270.
Yeah. I'll have to do the conversion maybe.
That's like $500. Right. But you can wear it again next year. You can be the same thing.
Exactly. You know, or maybe for New Year's too. And
we are having a New Year's party.
I did see that.
Lasertown is like a permanent fixture at Johnson Valley, right? So it's just you're always that's where they are. Just doing stuff.
That's where Lasertown is. 40 acres of property out there. Yeah.
Dang.
Private property.
The day that I got to go ride in the Laser Nut car.
That's right. You've been out there.
I have, but at the time, it was just the original structure with the containers on the open structure with the containers on the side.
Sure.
He had the berm in place and the trees planted, and a well, I think, but there was no pond yet, and he hadn't acquired maybe the other 20 acres because didn't he originally only have 20?
Correct.
And then he bought the adjacent
a 10
20.
and a 10. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's completed his.
Yeah.
And since then, for those who don't follow, Lasertown JV is the Instagram account.
Yes.
And it's absolutely worth following for the sheer. It is the most grown. It's an adult fort.
It's an adult sandbox.
Yeah.
To the back, there's a container house.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. It's 4 or 5 containers.
10.
10.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Close. That they all of the container insides were all cut out, so it's one big box.
Yeah.
And they're all put together, and it is a very well furnished house inside. Like
it's very nice. It is an absolute house inside. I don't know if it's 10. It might not be 10, but he actually has
8, whatever.
Yeah, ridiculous. Some of the rooms that he has in there actually have their own entrance, their own bathroom, and their own AC unit. So if you stayed in his house, you actually have your own front door, your own AC, and your own bathroom and shower. So you don't actually have to use the rest of the house. It's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
And that's probably more for Cody than for the guests. Like,
yeah,
stay over there.
Stay over there. Yeah. Yep. He's got a bus. He's got a school bus out there. That's always a kick in the pants. You hated the school bus growing up, but when you're on Lasertown, a ride at the Lasertown Express is a must-do out there. So,
and that's like the transport between Hammertown and Lasertown during KOH week.
So just this past year, I finally convinced him to take it down to Hammertown because it's not legally registered or anything. So you're not quite.
You have to be registered to go on that road?
I don't know. There's no green sticker. There's no like reg. Like who knows, But
yeah,
it was awesome last year. He brought it down. Last year was the first time KOH actually had a Sublime concert. They had legit Sublime with whoever in concert down there at the Monster Stage.
Wow.
And Cody brought everybody down from Lasertown and parked the bus at the back. And it was like a really killer sight to see. Like how often do you get to see all that stuff,
Right.
So,
yeah, that's
so if you don't have plans for New Year's, man, come on down. We're gonna do another party, apparently New Year's, so we'll come up with some sort of a theme, and we won't have a small bonfire, we won't have small fireworks, we won't have small tannerite, we won't have small anything.
No, none of it's small. It's always there, but never small.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That bonfire for Halloween, the pile of wood looked like it was 15 feet tall. So,
yeah, it was about that. Yeah, we had a witch burning ceremony there for Halloween.
Yeah, if this whole thing was in Oregon, like there'd be concerns of it being like, do you guys all listen to what one guy says? Like, are you here voluntarily?
Are all your shoes the same?
Yes.
Who mixed the Kool-Aid?
Did anybody? Yeah, exactly.
It was one of those.
Drinking.
It was a weird concept. It was on one of the road trips coming back from my competition, and I don't know. I just came up with the idea of let's have a witch burning ceremony. Burning at the stake, and we'll have a contest for who makes the best witch. And so it was. We just plugged it like everybody make a fake witch, and whoever wins, whatever, we'll put them on the bonfire at the end of the night, and we'll burn them all. Like, when have you ever done that? So.
You guys spent a lot of time in that RV this year.
A lot of time thinking.
Yes. More than 15,000 miles we traveled in less than 9 months. It was a lot. And there was...
at least it was in comfortable accommodations.
That's true.
So, it was comfortable, yeah. At times,
Yeah. You only spend so much time in an RV.
The one funny thing about Cody is, if you haven't figured out, he's very punctual. And so if he says the bus is rolling at 7, it is absolutely rolling at 7. Whether you're ready to go or not, it's rolling away at 7. He doesn't care where you're at in the RV. It's rolling at 7. So you better be ready.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's it's always cool just to everyone's got their own story and their own background. Some people don't understand how much you kind of live in these lives that then influence some of the things that so many people touch, which is what makes this stuff so interesting. Yeah, and 100%. Actually have some sort of personality brought into them, or for a lot of times that same personality is carried over to other people's versions of them, but there's having somebody who's in that life being the originator of those ideas at times it's cool to see where it comes from.
It's for me, it's been great. I've got a lot of ideas just from rolling around and being in the off-road industry and really digging the off-road lifestyle. You never know what's really going to kind of capture your creative eye and just be like, oh, we got to make something like that. Oh, we got to make one of those, or hey, it'd be really cool if we do this or that. And then you go back to the company and you just kind of start hashing it out. And some of it's like, yeah, that's perfect, and others are like, no, that's just dumb.
Do you think, and this is just my own personal question, but do you think that being part of the group of companies that is Horizon now, do you feel like you've got a little more resources available and a little more risk-taking ability with releases? Like, do you think that that's helped increase some of the things that you might have wanted to make before that you weren't able to, or is this something that is like totally new and different?
No, that's 100% correct. By coming on with Horizon, we've been able to utilize a lot of different resources that we never had before, and they have a lot more capital to where we can kind of start to gauge like, hey, I think we can, we can take a chance here, take a chance there, and see what it does. It's been great to have them to have them backing the brand like they've been doing.
Right.
It's obviously, there's a corporate curveball in there that you got to kind of get used to and stuff like that. And there's dime counters and penny counters and all that crap. When you come to building a product or presenting a product to build, you can really start to gauge, here's what it's really going to cost. And then, hey, do we think that the market's going to be acceptable to it? And they have the ability to really kind of support the ideas that we come up with and say, yeah, that's going to be, let's go for it. That's going to be a great idea. And then fortunately, if it's a flop, there's a lot of other product that's coming out that can make up the difference if it's a flop, you know? And when you're bringing new genres, that's the scary thing, right? What's it going to do? Like, well, it might tank. I mean, Axial has had those products in the past where we thought it was going to be phenomenal, and it just did not do that well.
The Excel.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
There's one.
Yeah. Right.
Pointing wrong somewhere up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I see it. I see
Delayed.
it.
There
What
it is.
I think is an interesting that very few people would be able to have the same experience that you could talk from, but you have been, when Axial was on their own, kind of technically at the beginning, then with Horizon, and then with Hobbyco, then with Horizon. And when you guys were with Hobbyco, Axial was, from what I have grasped, in its bubble.
Yeah, you're sort of
You
autonomous.
were Axial, and you were doing, but now it seems like you guys have been brought in to Horizon. Like, have you been, or had, do you get to kind of branch out, or have you had to branch out from Axial, like do a Spectrum thing, do a low C, do an ECX, like, or have you been able to be like, I know this market really well, let me focus on this area?
We've done some stuff with Spectrum, but for the most part, for me, it's just been, Axial is where I'm really, really comfortable. If they came to me and said, hey, we want you to make a TLR car or a low-C car, I'd be kind of like standoffish because I don't know anything about that side of the market, We do have some crossover. We have some guys that are working on, some other team members that are working on Axial product. So there is some crossover there, and it would be really cool to do, but I don't know, me personally, I don't know if I have enough background to really work on an FIS car or some sort of race car or anything like that, just because I'm a Jeeper,
Right.
I'm a rock crawler guy. I'm a scale guy. Like, I'm comfortable where I'm at.
And there's that value to having that knowledge of an area. Like, so I totally get it. I just wondered if they, if it's one of those things like, nope, you are on this project now, or like, you got to like be where you think you're best utilized, which is
I think that's kind of their game plan. And when it comes to like some of the electronics that come in the cars, the product developer does have a lot of say in what we're using in the car, or what will work in the car, or if we need to make something new for the car, and then if it should be branded, Dynamite or Spectrum or Axial or whatever it should be branded. A lot of that does fall in the lap of the product developer to make sure we've got it going in the right direction.
There's all of these little things that go into it. It's an interesting part of the business, and
it's a job that I don't think I knew existed, if I'm honest. Like, I know that there are project managers and that's what they do, but to hear about all the minutia of the project that you're involved in, that's That's pretty intriguing. There's a lot going on there that I don't think a lot of people would have even kind of really realized.
Yeah, I actually had a conversation with Todd today. Todd's my boss, and actually had a conversation with him today of like, there's a whole lot that goes on with the product developer, and I'm still learning it. There's a lot of different avenues that I just wasn't aware of, or things that I wasn't quite sure of. And, I'm sure Rich could say the same thing. Like it's not just we're not just a project manager, we're in the trenches working on the design of the project, and then we're also testing the project, and then we're working with the tooling on the project, and we're working with, breaking parts out and selling them as spare parts, and we're working on, terminology and naming conventions and descriptions and the instructions. Like it's just over the top. And it's been an awesome challenge for me. If I'm presented with a challenge, I'm gonna do the best I can at it.
Well, good for you. You've definitely proven yourself so far.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you pat yourself on the back earlier.
Everyone gets one except Josh.
Do we do virtual high fives? I hear that's a thing now.
Sure, why not?
Me and Matt will sometimes argue at each other.
Yeah, it's like
that's great.
Yeah.
That's
counterpoint.
Great. I'm glad I'm not in the middle right now.
Right. It's I don't know. The whole side of, I mean, I am lucky to work in the hobby full time as well now, but having friends in these, like Horizon, whole nother world compared to what I'm doing. So it's always interesting to hear, what you guys can say. Everyone, while we work together, we might compete in certain aspects, but we're friendly in our ways, and some of us talk outside of live videos and things like that. So it's we have we're all either Jeep people or RC people or whatever, and
right.
Yeah, at our core, it's all just one big happy family, I think.
Yeah. It's definitely a little extra awareness on my part to make sure I don't say something on camera on a live feed. Like, I'd love to share things, but I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta.
Yeah,
it's all right, Randall. I record all of our conversations, so I'll use those at my earliest convenience.
Yeah,
it's like for me, like social media, things like that. I had to get so used to. Like, you look at your phone, you're like, can I post this photo?
No.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So you guys will both remember the one that bit me in the butt, whatever, was at Proline by the Fire. Yes. I was completely innocent, right? Like, we were just having such a rad fun time and goofing off and this and that, and all of a sudden, an axial car driving over an element car was this big disaster of a problem. And it was like,
all friends.
Oh,
like,
man.
Like, it's me hitting my friend's car. We've worked together for 15 years. Like,
I don't care what kind of a car it is. I'm going to run it over.
Yeah. Like,
that was hilarious.
It would have been the same thing for me if it wouldn't have been the fact that I was also driving an element car running into the element cars.
Right? Yeah. I cracked up, and even with John Schultz, I'm good friends with John Schultz, and everybody knew there was no harm in it, and it definitely went all the way through the ladder, and I heard about it, and I was like, all right, well, I'll have to be a little bit more careful. Yeah. Oh well.
It's the world we live in those ways.
And the internet's ruined everything.
Like, we talk. I think the only reason that I don't get in more trouble is just that I talk too much on live, things like that. People are just like, he probably said it. I don't know.
Right.
If you just cover saying something dumb with a huge pile of other dumb stuff, people just.
And usually anytime Josh shows me something that he's like, it's questionable or not really supposed to be shown, someone else from somewhere has already shown it to me. So
that's really cool. So I could rattle off all of my product ideas, and you guys really wouldn't know which one is true.
Yeah.
Most of and in fact, now what's happening, and this is a really good idea, Randall, you should kind of employ this if you don't already, is just write right on the photo that you're sending to somebody, like, you know, edit it with your phone, go into the photo app and just edit it and put Josh Smells on the photo. So when he gets the photo and it gets leaked, you know exactly where it came from.
I think Josh already got one of those photos.
This is a brand new technique. Nobody has ever heard of this technique.
Yeah. Well, clearly nobody has, because we get so many pictures that aren't watermarked.
Yeah. Oh no. My thing is like Matt and I talk every day, and then like I'll be working on a project, and I'd be like, oh, actually, yeah, we're working on this thing, and you know, it's pretty cool. And Matt's like, oh yeah, no, Jim told me about that like 4 months ago.
I got those pictures.
Why am I keeping my mouth shut about it? Like,
so I have told people or talked with you guys and other people about some of the projects that I'm working on. But what you guys may not know is that I may have given each of you different details about the product. So when it does come out, I'll know, oh, Matt knows that I said it was a 3.81 gear ratio, but Josh knows it was a 4.10 gear ratio. Now I know who's speaking.
Well, it's not me, because I've got a signed NDA.
Yeah.
Yes. As do I.
Absolutely.
That's this is a great comment, actually.
Hi, Tony.
This is from Tempest Fugit, Fugit.
Fugit.
Josh is very opinionated, but I value his opinion. I'll take it. Do competitors ever call you out for talking trash? Matt, Matt, this is just,
that's a good question.
We give our opinion a lot.
We do. Yes, we do.
There is often times where I will say something. Most of the time, if I have something that is like a negative, if a company has given me something and I have something like negative to say specifically, I will usually tell them like, this is how I feel about this. Here's the situation. And I'm not going to not say this, but like the difference can be like, I'll just not put out a video if you want. But you gave me this, I'm going to put out a video if you like, but this is what I'm going to say. And I'll tell them why.
And I think from Axial's perspective over the years, I think we've really kind of appreciated it. We definitely want a good positive review, but at the same time, what helps the developers build a better product is getting the negative and the positive feedback back from people that review the product, you know. And I mean, I'll tell you, I'm always nervous, you know, just because I'm new to the product developer position. I'm like, man, I hope it's well received. I hope they like it, and I'm prepared to hear all the negatives, because it's easy to find negatives in a product. You know, it's easy to see them, and it's easy to focus on them and say why it should have been done differently and this and that. And you just kind of take it with a grain of salt, but you definitely keep it in mind for the next time you build a product. Like, wait, I don't want to miss this or miss that.
Yeah, and people oftentimes are really, really hard on a product in terms of their overall review, but you kind of have to take a step back and realize that this is going to a much broader market. You know, when you're doing those reviews, you kind of have to step back and say, okay, from a enthusiast standpoint, maybe it's not that bad.
And I've, you know, we all grow as we have experience. I hate almost every video I've ever done. Like, I honestly do. I can't watch old video. Like, I'm just like, I feel like I could do anything I've ever done better. Like everything I think of, I'm just like, I can't watch it. I don't like it. You know,
your Lloyd review is pretty good though. I mean, I think that's rewatchable.
But you know, at the same time, it's just like you want to keep going. Mm-hmm. However, like when I've done videos like back in the past, there's things like, I didn't have this big picture view of what the product design or whatever was. It's just that's the truth of it. You know, like I have said things that have been incorrect. I've done it a lot of times, and I will continue to make mistakes here, you know, as I go, but hopefully you take from it and you move on. everyone's going to do that.
Yeah.
You can't just assume that everything is. I'm going to say it confidently that whatever I said I think is correct.
I'm more than
doesn't make it
happy.
correct.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to admit if I've made a mistake or said something wrong in a video, and I will pin that comment right at the top so people know that I'm not infallible.
You know what? Actually, I think I remember even Josh, you doing that one time on the R10 review. I think there was something where I think you misquoted something somewhere, and then you were quick to say, "Oh, I was really wrong. You know, I was wrong with that. Here's the actual spec. Blah 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 blah. Whatever it was." I think I remember that, anyways.
Yeah,
but
and
that's super cool.
I mean, it's going to happen, especially when we're doing what we're doing. It's going to happen. And I've also had, if I purchase a product on my own and do a video on my own, I will say what I think. And I've absolutely, though, had
it's all negative at that point.
Yeah, I have absolutely had companies try and either
persuade
call my sponsors.
Yep.
Like when I had sponsors at the time, like I had somebody call every single person I had listed in my signature of RC Crawler, and it was actually a company that I've got a pretty decent relationship with today.
Futaba.
No. They called Futaba, but no.
Oh, now I want. You'll tell me later.
I'll tell you. Later. It was
crazy.
There was a good question in here from Cody Avram, and it's mostly for you, Randall. What routes would you take or suggest to make the hobby into a career for people like Cody that have the passion for the hobby?
I've seen people progress from just being a hobby stop or a hobby shop worker. I know Brian Nunez, I think he started out in a hobby shop.
He still works there on Sunday.
Quite honestly, my background, I was an IT consultant before I came to Axial, and I had an IT consulting company, and I wanted to get out of IT consulting because it was all-consuming, which now my product developer job is all-consuming. But I wanted to get out of IT consulting, and so I took a step back and just kind of got in ground level at Axial. But what I brought to the table was my IT background. So I did a lot of IT work for Axial in the very beginning, and through all the years until we got in with Hobbyco and Horizon. And matter of fact, just today I was involved in an IT meeting related to SolidWorks and some IT stuff. So I still kind of have my hands in a little bit, but that was how I kind of got my foot in the door. But I think for most people, getting a job at a hobby shop is probably the best way to get into it. And just being an enthusiast to the hobby is really the best way that you can kind of get your foot in the door and get into it, because you can get that life experience, at a hobby shop. And then once you see that a job opening's, popping up on the Horizon Hobby website or whatever, you can go there and just apply. Like they're always hiring people regardless of what position it is. And I know many of them are entry level, just working in the distribution center or something like that. So there's a lot of ways into it. I think the best way, I think I kind of got lucky. I think the best way is just being involved in the hobby and being an enthusiast is the best way. Look at like both of you guys,
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to get into it. But
well, Josh already works in this business. I'm just a top-rated amateur.
He didn't always.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And,
I mean, Josh had his whole Harleydesigns thing and all that going before he was over at VP,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was a full-time civil engineer. Like,
yeah.
He was the roundabout king of Chicago.
Roundabouts.
Al's. What is it? God.
That's pretty funny. My wife worked for a civil engineer company out here that was involved in a lot of street planning and drainage planning and sidewalk planning and a lot of that stuff. So
yeah, I specialized in ADA law. So what do you know?
Oh,
Abe Froman.
That's because you're a gimp.
Abe Froman.
Abe Froman.
That's his name. Moose Jaw said maybe that's what the creators of Flying Cars are trying to do: break into the RC career game.
Yes. Now it's been brought up a few times. Randall, I have such low confidence in this question. Have you seen Flying Cars?
Of course he has.
No. No. Flying cars? Well, I mean, you mean here on Earth?
No, it's a movie called Flying Cars.
I mean, because when I traveled out to Jupiter, I saw some flying cars out there. It took me like 1 light year to get there.
Okay.
It really wasn't far.
All right. Put your foil hat on.
We are going to extend you an invitation to come back on this show at any point with a prerequisite.
You have to have watched Flying Cars, the movie.
Oh, God. That's going to be a tough one, man, because I don't watch a lot of TV.
Well, it's not on TV.
Is it on VHS or beta?
You're going to be able to
get it on.
To watch it on your phone 15 minutes at a time in the morning. You can just sit there.
That's rough.
Yeah, you'll be able to handle it. I mean, you might not be. It's a horrible movie. But you need to watch it because it is RC related.
It's RC related.
Flying Cars.
Watch it with your wife.
Amazon or Google Play. Find it.
That'll be tough. She's the TV connoisseur person. Dude, if I sit down on the couch to watch a TV show, I'm out asleep in like 10 minutes. I'm done.
It drives my wife insane. She's like, "Let's sit and watch a movie." I'm like, I don't want to sit and watch a movie.
I don't want to sit and watch a movie.
I will watch endless movies here at this bench while I'm doing something.
Yes, very true.
But as soon as I just sit on the couch trying to do something.
Yeah. Even in here on my bench, I do Pandora music all the time. I don't have any video stuff playing because it's a distraction to me. So I
watch the same things over and over and over, so it's not much of a distraction.
You watch yourself.
Yeah, this is my videos on loop.
No wonder your numbers are so high.
I agree with you.
Yeah, Randall, you have no idea how many times I've watched my own review of the SCX 10-3. Man, right? Oh, man. Just so honored.
I'm sorry you had to watch me.
No, you were great. You were great. Everybody in that whole thing was great. It was a real pleasure to put that video together, and I'm glad that there was somebody there who could share so much of the history of the company.
Yeah. I'll plug something else. You guys haven't touched on it yet, but I have done something similar to the documentary on Crispy. I had a race team called Desert Turtle Racing.
Yeah.
And we did do a documentary called Rocks and Rookies, which is a full-blown movie. It's an hour and a half or so. If you guys haven't watched it, look it up. It's on YouTube. It's a movie about the build of our car and our adventure to KOH racing and finishing.
All right.
So
that's actually pretty interesting. I'll have to do that. I remember watching. I followed the build of the Desert Turtle Jeep.
Yeah.
You kept it pretty updated on Pirate at the time?
Not on Pirate. We were doing.
It was just on Facebook.
Just
you had a Facebook. You had a Facebook album.
We were doing webisodes and Facebook albums and stuff like that on the build of the car, and we took all the footage and we literally did this almost a cookie cut of what Poison Spider did, because I thought what they did was very inspirational to a lot of race car guys out there, and we made a movie and put it together really well, and it showed the entire build, showed race day, showed us finishing, and we actually debuted it in a movie theater with a bunch of our close friends and family.
I remember that.
It was pretty cool.
I'm going to try and look that up really quickly and then post it in the live chat.
It's called
Rocks
and Rookies. Rocks and Rookies. Yep. It's really cool. I'm kind of proud of it.
There it is.
Turtle Rocks and Rookies full
movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm pirating it. It's in the queue. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
for anyone who's watching it's in the live chat.
First, I'm going to report it.
And I was at KOH the year that you guys finished with that in 16.
16. Yes.
Yeah. I was at the base of the stage when you guys pulled in.
Yes.
So.
And I had an SCX-10 on the back of the car.
Cool.
It was the first SCX-10 to ever run the KOH race in its entirety.
The first comment is amazing. The 35 thumbs down came from the teams they passed on the course. That's good. That's really good.
Yes, it is.
Love it.
It's really cool. A lot of people, if anybody's into KOH or anything like that, it's definitely an inspirational movie.
Cool.
So really proud of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Let's see.
You trying to edit the description?
Nope. I'm looking at my my phone's photos here from February 4th, 2016, and I have a photo of Randall and the team on the stage.
Pull it up.
Oh, yeah.
A little more.
More.
Yes. There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, I see. Yeah, 2 different camera angles. Perfect.
Yeah.
First camera angle was perfect.
That was right as you guys were were jumping out of it.
That was a long day.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, it was. You guys finished at 5:28 p.m. So you know.
Nice. That was a long day, man, and that was I will give it a testament to, if you guys are familiar with tire plugs, in the real world. We had to use tire plugs. There was about 7 or 8 of them in a gash in a sidewall. And without those in the tire, we never would have finished. And they actually went through 3 or 4 more rock trails with tire plugs in the tire. So if you don't carry tire plugs in your Jeeps, I strongly recommend carrying tire plugs more so than a spare.
Wow. That's a real...
That's impressive. And that was that was a gnarly year of KOH too. I mean, that was so, and that was 4,800 class?
4,500.
4,500 class, that's right.
Yep.
Steering box car, right? EMC.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that was a cool build to that Jeep though. I enjoyed watching that whole thing.
And now I get to watch it all over again. That's right.
Did you race that 2017 too?
So we raced it after 2016. We raced it 3 more years, and we never finished KOH.
Wow!
In those 3 years, so we finished the first year, and then every year after that, we were chasing the checkers.
Yep, that's
KOH,
and that is KOH. I mean, it's especially in a 4,500 class car. Like, you're running basically the same course as the 4,400 guys, and just you have to do it in a car that can't be built as well via the rules. Like, we're on 37-inch street legal tires. We're on, I think it was 16-inch travel shocks, and mounted to the axle only.
Mounted to the axle, correct. Mounted to the axle. We're on a ladder frame chassis. Like the chassis has to be like a box chassis from the engine mounts to the firewall or to the behind the seats. So there's a lot of limitations there that really, and the steering box, like you said, that really limit what the car can do, and you have to learn to drive the car to its capabilities without breaking it. You know, you got to make it survive.
It's a steering box car, but it's like mechanical link from the chassis to the steering. Yeah. Which the Poison Spider Wraith, which was based off the Venom chassis.
Yes.
That was a big controversial 4,500 class car.
Yeah, it was a 4,500 class car. They had a full hydro setup with a mechanical boat steering setup, and so what they had was cables running down to the links to the knuckles that would pull each direction, left to right, when you turn the steering wheels. They were kind of cheating the rules, but it was legal. It was legal, but man, they're like, technically there's a mechanical link, and then the frame rails were like bolted together, but just on one side of the chassis. It was still a 2-frame car, but they're like, hey, we got frame rails from here to here. They're just both over there.
Wow.
Yeah, in order to meet the rules, they didn't say that the frame rails had to be 16 inches apart that year.
Yeah.
So they just said you had to have frame rails. So they cut them out, and they literally welded them together, and they used those to mount the battery and hold the battery in place. Like, that's all the frame rails did. They were just welded into the tube chassis and held the battery and called it good.
You know what? That sounds exactly like something Josh would do in just about any challenge that we've ever had.
It was so much fun to watch Larry and those guys. Like, here, and they would just show it, like, because they did such good documentation of their builds online. Yeah. And I would follow along with them all the time. Was Dusty the guy who was there?
Dusty Sharp, yeah.
Yeah, and he was a big Bronco guy.
Yeah, Dusty's a really big Bronco guy.
And he did such good pictures and great write-ups, and like every day there'd be a new Poison Spider update. And I mean, it was such good content. And what made me be such a fan of Poison Spider, like, it wasn't the parts that they were producing, which I would then in turn enjoy, but it was just like, they were so involved. It was like before Instagram or Facebook were really, it was the forum days, the forum heyday.
Yeah, they were they were doing the lifestyle. They were doing the same thing that I'd say when Rodney was with Axial, what he believed in was portraying the lifestyle. You know, we did a lot of Jeep Run blogs, or I did a lot of Jeep Run blogs back in the day of just the lifestyle. And that's what really helps capture people, is because they're living the same way that the brand is living, you know, and when you can do that, when you have people in the company that are living the brand, people will latch onto that brand a lot better than just a bunch of bean counters that are making RC cars, you know, and it goes a long way. And that's what we really still try to continue to do with Axial is, you know, and why I like still being part of Axial is I'm still living the lifestyle. You know, I'm still doing the same thing that I was doing before.
And I think it's, you know, the one thing with our area is you're not necessarily in the RC industry to get rich. No. So it's not like there's just like full-time people who get to enjoy being in the Jeep lifestyle so they can make cool RC parts. It's like you have to be invested in that lifestyle yourself first. So you're add a huge value to Horizon because you are willing to invest yourself in that lifestyle, which would be a huge loss if they didn't have that.
Which, you know, I'm going to add to that, because everybody that I talk to that is off-roaders and they don't know what I do at work, they just, you know, what do you do for work? Oh, well, I make RC cars. Oh, so you play with toys all day?
No.
Actually, no, I don't. I stare at computer screens and CAD designs and spreadsheets and emails. And
I rarely get to play with them.
I rarely get to play with RC cars. And it's funny to kind of have to explain that to people, because they just think it's fun and games. And I'm like, it's hardly fun and games. Yeah. It is all work.
Yeah. The days at work that I have been turning a transmitter for work are very few, and not none. So it's better than, you know, it's better than none, but it's a very low percentage.
Yeah. There is days where I've been working from home and I've had some product and I've had to go out and test the product. And there have been days where I was like, I don't even want to go test this thing. I am just not in the mood to go drive RC cars right now. Like, okay. Because it's not for just pure enjoyment, right? You're going out to test the car and find out if the car is good or it's bad or what's going to break. And you're very methodical about it and you're analytical about everything that you're doing. And you're like, I just want to go play and I can't.
Yeah, this is not fun.
Yeah, battery packs and tools and spare parts and like.
I'll be right back.
That's exactly. You know, I've had those days as well. Like, I've had those days where you're testing something and you go out to test it, and something fails on you like right away, and it's like, oh yeah, it has taken me half a day to get 10 minutes worth of testing. Like
I've made that rookie mistake of not taking enough parts or the right part, and I go out to test. I'm like, oh, it'll be good, and I go out there and I break it in the first 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh man,
I've wasted. But then I've also had those days where it's just like we're getting to go to this amazing epic location to try and shoot this video, and I'm just like, I'm getting paid for this right now. Like,
so I'll say yes, that was the case for the video shoot of the SCX-10 III. That was absolutely, I'm getting paid for this.
Yes, and the roadkill on Motortown, you know, best day of work ever. Like,
yes, yeah, it was a lot of fun for that particular video. It was a lot of fun to basically my primary focus for the SCX-10 III video was to find the locations, and I got to pick where we were going to go and plan the route for the locations that we were going to go to. And you know, we knew St. George was probably the most iconic place we could actually go that we've never been, and we had the opportunity to go to. So, and it was kind of something I'm familiar with.
Yeah, you've got some connection to the Utah area now, I believe.
I do.
Can't say that I wasn't jealous of. Whatever.
I do. I have. I do have a house in St. George, Utah. It's currently rented. I can't move in it yet, but I'm headed that way. Hopefully, we'll see how everything works out. But
yeah,
it's still a little early to tell. But it's definitely a place to go. And once you've driven there once you've driven there, for me, it's a 6-hour drive. It's not real far. And once you've done it a couple of times, it's no worse than driving to Vegas. For us.
Right.
So,
yeah. I mean, driving to St. George is just, it's something. I mean, St. George, Cedar City, Moab, like those three right through there.
Yeah.
While St. George and Moab have some big similarities, like Cedar City is another just amazing spot. Like all three of those to go crawl there with an RC car or a full size are amazing.
I would like to go to there, please.
Yeah. When do you get to bail out of your country? When you get to come south?
I don't know.
Are they still restricted?
Yeah, totally. There's no cross-border travel unless it's essential. And I can't really think of anything essential right now. I need to go rock crawling.
Yeah, that's right. That's essential. Yeah. So it was that video shoot was epic. We went to Sand Hollow, and we went to over to the Zion area, and we went over to a place that has it's called Tokerville Falls, and then there was a place over right there in St. George that we went to. So we went to like 4 or 5 different locations to get the video.
Is this SCX-103?
Did you crawl?
Yeah.
Was there some in Pioneer Park there?
Pioneer Park. We didn't do Pioneer Park. No, we did. We did. Sand Hollow State Park is where the majority of the Red Rock was shot.
Gotcha. I was wondering.
What a killer! What a killer video that was. That was a good release video.
Harry G was saying he must have bought it from Lance. He's selling to every other off-roader out there.
Lance was my realtor.
Was he? Lance Clifford, the previous owner of Pirate 4x4.
Who said that?
Perry G.
Okay, yeah. Lance is a great guy. He's really good with real estate out there. And yes, if you're an off-roader and you're looking to move to St. George or the Hurricane, Utah area, call Lance.
Yeah.
Shoot. All right.
Yep.
That's fun.
That is funny. It's all, he moving out. Yeah, everybody, all the off-roaders moving to St. George.
Yeah, great place to be out there.
Larry McRae moved out there, right?
Yes.
Oh,
yep.
wow.
He bought
Dusty.
Dusty.
Dusty hasn't moved yet. It was Super D is another guy. But yeah, Larry's got a really crazy property. Lance has a really crazy property. Casey Shearer moved out there. I haven't been to his place. Dave Wong just moved out there. He's a rock crawling guy. He just moved out there from, is it Sonoma or Sonora? I get him backwards.
I don't know. He was up here somewhere. Sonoma.
In the trees. Sonoma. Yeah. I think it was Sonoma. He moved out there. I mean, there's been a bunch of people that have moved out there that even some of our local Jeep Club friends out here in SoCal, they've all moved to St. George as well. So
crazy.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's beautiful out there.
I'll keep that on my short list.
I'm for those that were the comment asking about the SCX-103 video, I just pasted it in the chat as well.
Oh, cool. So, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. It is, and then the SCX-103 Gladiator, that was a cool location as well. Different, but also cool.
That I wasn't part of that one actually, but I believe they were over at Alabama Hills area, which is off the 395.
Okay.
I think that's where they
in
were.
Nevada?
No, Cali.
395 in California. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's a pretty. Because isn't most of 395 in Nevada?
Not from down here.
Isn't it? Okay. Maybe it's.
Yeah, it takes a while to get into Nevada up there. I think you got to go by Mono Lake first, which that's pretty far north.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, I guess, yeah, it does. Actually, right. Yeah, most of 395 is in California. I always thought it's always the Nevada side of the Sierras. So I was just figure I'm in Nevada. Like,
yeah. It's if you like it, it's a really cool drive. It's kind of flat and straight, but the scenery off to, if you go north, the scenery off to your left side there is pretty epic.
A lot better than driving the 5 or 99. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Those are kind of like driving through Kansas.
All right,
Matt,
nerds.
are you a hockey fan?
No.
Oh God. Okay.
Why? What do you want to ask me about?
Aren't you from Canada?
Yeah, I'm from Canada, but not all of us played hockey so much.
I didn't say if you played hockey. I was just asking if you were a fan.
No, I don't. I'm not so much. No, like every kid when I was young, my dad made me play, so I don't really like it because of that. Don't make me do it. There were a lot of early mornings.
I'm a hockey fan. Been a hockey fan for a while. I played goalie in hockey for a few of my adult years, and had my kids play hockey. Kind of forced them to play hockey and whatnot. And you hear that the Canadian A accent and all that bit, and I've found myself when I say cone for don't hit the cone. I found myself sounding like a Canadian. I don't know why it came about, but every time I'm talking about it, I always say it with that weird...
I also just heard you really try to emphasize your about, so it didn't sound so much like a boot. We don't really say a boot. I say a boat. No, I don't say that either. I'm
not Canadian at all, but it definitely is kind of rubbed off.
The cones. There's this one Saturday Night Live sketch that I'll never forget. It's like all these Canadian guys stuck in Winnipeg, and they're like, "Oh, the road is closed." I'll never forget it. The road is closed. Can't get out. The road is closed. It's a lot like the Californians, though. What are you talking about?
Yeah. The windstorm knocked our lawn chair over.
Yeah. That's you get a nice, well-rounded Midwesterner.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The only thing we say weird is roof
and how
crick.
You say
playing the crick.
So in Nebraska, you're from Nebraska and Wisconsin.
No, Nebraska and then Missouri.
Missouri, my bad.
Yeah,
Missouri.
Kansas City. I moved to Kansas City after college for engineering, but yeah, born in Omaha, raised in the Omaha area.
Oh, Chiefs.
Cal.
Are both of those states pretty much flat?
Yep.
All right.
Missouri's got some texture to it, but not a lot. But Nebraska is just There's a hill in the state next door, like Iowa.
There's a hill in the state.
Go over that.
There's a hill close by that you can see. They call it a bluff. But
a bluff, yeah. My dad lived in Kearney, Nebraska for a bit.
Oh yeah, I know Kearney. We used to go to Kearney to drag race.
Yeah, so I flew out there once.
Scribner.
One of my comments here, Ian Turbot said that Josh says a lot of weird stuff. It's true.
He's probably going to start talking about the road is closed pretty soon.
I say roof weird.
Yeah, you do. You sound like a weirdo.
Roof. It's just roof.
It's a roof.
Roof. A roof.
Double O. There's no U in there. Roof. Listen to yourselves. Hey, Randall, thank you so much for being a part of this show. It's been a real pleasure having you here, and thank you for answering some burning questions on the axial front, like when the straight axles are coming in. That exact date was helpful.
Did that work? Do you need an exact date?
No, we don't.
No, even if you had it, I don't want to tell these people.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, do you guys know the part number? Do you even know the part number?
AX.
I don't even know if that was in the manual.
AXI 308831.
Yeah, no.
Nerd alert.
It's not right. It's not right.
Maybe close.
But said with confidence.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. Matt thought it was right.
No, I didn't. Yes, I did.
So I could throw out like a bunch of part numbers, and one of them might be actually correct. But
Right.
I know these guys would replay it. I know how you guys are. You'd replay it and analyze it and search out every one of them. So I gotta once again be careful.
You know, it's like me. I troll the patent and trademark sites to see if anything's been filed before anything's been released.
It is pretty cool. I don't know if everybody knows, but the front axle does have an offset pumpkin.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's been talked about yet. I don't know what Rich disclosed. So
he didn't disclose that.
You know it
had to be.
Otherwise, it would run into the transmission. So
yeah.
So it's really spilling the guts on that
one. There's ball bearings in it.
It's going to have a couple of axle shafts.
Yeah. I was going to say there's steel axle shafts. The kit is really cool. I don't know how much Rich talked about the kit, but the kit is actually really cool because it's all inclusive as a standard axle conversion kit.
Oh, that's good.
I like it. Yes.
So everything you need.
Everything you need.
Great.
Yeah. And then, so with the gearing change for the transmission that was noted in the manual?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's got gearing. It's got panhard bar. It's got everything that you're going to need.
Axle housings.
It's got some axle housings. It's got hex hubs. And
what size though?
Pinion gear.
They better be 12 mil.
Yeah, I think it's actually we're being innovative. We've gone to a 13 mil hex hub because it actually provides a larger surface area for more torque control.
Sweet. Can't wait till I have to replace all my hubs.
To make it all sense.
Yeah. It's been absolutely fun, man. I appreciate it.
Well, you're a good sport. Thanks for coming out, and thank you for answering a bunch of questions. And don't forget, you do need to get flying cars from YouTube. No, wait, it's not on YouTube. iTunes, Amazon, Google Play. And you got to watch it and come back and report back to us.
Not on YouTube? Say it again. It's on where?
Everything except YouTube. It's on iTunes, Amazon Prime, and Google Play Store.
All right. I'm going to hunt it out.
Well, don't say we didn't warn you.
Cool, guys. Thanks, Josh, Matt. I really appreciate you guys having me on the show. Let me know when you want to do it again. I've had a blast chatting with you guys. I know we haven't really sat around and shot the trash.
Not since Proline.
Yeah. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks, man. Real pleasure.
Good stuff. Appreciate it. Thank you again, Randall.
All right.
We'll touch base.
We're gonna stick around for a little bit because we have to do mail call with Josh, but
oh yes.
We'll say goodbye to Randall. Thank you, Randall.
And let's see. I gotta figure out where my which one is it? This one.
You can't get rid of me.
I don't know if that's true or not.
See you guys.
Bye, Randall.
See ya. Boom.
There you go. Good job. Proud of you.
So, yes, no, that was great to have Randall on. And hey, thanks Masters for $5. Appreciate it. Really great show with a great guest. Cheers, Josh. You're great at getting guests. There you go. Matt, take notes.
Hey!
Matt and I
I've gotten some good guests too. Yeah, we have a list that we're going through. And in fact, next week, we might have another guest again.
Another one. And maybe
another one.
After that, maybe not.
Yeah, probably. Well, actually, yeah, probably not.
Hey, Josh, does the VP Yeti anti-sway bar fit the Gen 1 bomber? Yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's the same sway bar.
Drops right on.
Isn't it?
Yep, it is.
Well, there's two things specifically, but the first thing I want to show you, I'm actually pretty excited about it, and I'm wearing it right now.
Is it your donut hat?
No, it isn't my donut hat.
Is it your salmon-colored hoodie?
No, it's not the salmon-colored hoodie either.
No,
it is
stylish of you.
Well, thank you.
You're such a bold color palette.
I'm an innovator. No, it's this thing right here. And you're like, what is this? Well, this is the finger blade. Get ready for it. This is pretty cool. This.
What in the X-Men is this?
It's a lot. Yeah, you're right. You know, it is a lot like
this is a cereal box X-Men Halloween costume looking.
Nope. It's actually a box opener. It's like if you work in shipping and receiving, or if you work in like a grocery store or whatever. If you make fun of me
one more time for the circle maker.
No, but I'm sure like you, Josh, or like me, Josh, you get a lot of cardboard boxes. Nothing better than the finger blade.
How did you open the package that came in?
Well, that's a good question. I have a second finger blade. And then you're going to ask me, how did I get that second finger blade out of the box? Well, I bought a third finger blade. The story goes on and on. But it's great because you get a lot of torque on it, right? So you just like...
I mean, I guess if you're opening like 100 boxes...
Yeah. This is fantastic.
I mean, I guess it stops you from... I don't understand.
It's great. Oh, look, a Hobby Wing motor.
That's...
Yeah, but also you're like, oh my God, isn't this dangerous having a number 11 blade just hanging out? It's retractable. I'm telling you, while it might not be perfect for you or me, I'm sure a lot of people could get a lot of use out of something like this. Like if you worked at a grocery store.
How could this accident have been prevented?
But it comes, you get this little sheath for your finger so you don't cut your finger up on the raw boxes. It's great. I don't know, like, I know you're laughing, but I can see that being pretty useful, especially on recycling day, because
oh my, the infomercials in Canada must be way worse than here. Like,
I wouldn't make fun of it. Yeah, don't scratch your eyes.
This man's living in 2025.
Yes. I was pretty pleased with that one. I was like, Josh is going to like this. He may not like it at first, but I think he'll see the value in it. Finger blade. No, it's a Canadian, it's a Canadian invention.
I believe it.
But seriously, like if you're working in that kind of area,
you know what? Travis Gilmore here just said, totally useful for cutting Lexan bodies. Scoring. I want to see you cut a Lexan body with that.
You know what? Challenge accepted. I will do that. Not right now.
It better not be the one that I'm sending you.
Oh yeah, it is. That thing's gonna be cut to hell. Oh
my God.
No, it's pretty great. I'm pretty happy. One size fits most. Finger blade. What's the other thing I say to you all this? Oh yeah, Fajan. Finger blade. No.
Speaking of Hobby Wing, I actually got 2 Hobby Wing X systems in the mail.
Oh yeah?
Not from Hobby Wing even. Like not donated by Hobby.
You got yours from Hobby Wang.
Right. Yes. We're gonna give them a second shot.
Yeah. You're
like a fourth.
Is this the
fourth
shot that you're working with this time?
No, this is just the regular axe.
Axe, which one?
2300.
Okay, 2300. That seems low for you.
It is.
What I have here is the Quick Run brushless censored.
Are you new?
What I have here is a box with a product in it. Yeah, it's a sensor-based DSC, the 10BL60, which I believe is amps.
This is a brilliant review, Matt.
I
really like what you've done.
I did not say this was a review. But I've also got a 3650 brushless motor here. This is going to go in my new rally car at some point.
Excuse me?
Yes, I have a. I
think?
got the XV.
Oh, you got the
XV1.
You're gonna do the Lancia.
The Lancia. Yeah.
Lancia. Hold on a second.
Fijan. Yeah, I got that for a new rally car project. Knight Customs, Mr. James Knight has a whole whack of good-looking products for that Lancia car, and I want to trick it out and make it look super great, and then smash it into a curb, as you might expect me to do. Hey, Quack RC, thanks for the $2, my man. Let me know if you need me on the show. Haha, JK. Well, you never know when that request might come through.
I got 2 other deliveries in the...
Oh, I'm not done either.
First of all, for those who were on the Friday stream the week before last, where Nicole, out of the middle of somehow spilled wine on my keyboard.
Somehow. We know exactly.
So, yeah. I got a surprise delivery in the mail this week from Henry and I believe his wife Jennifer, and they sent us insulated wine mugs with spill-proof lids.
That's great.
I got an Amazon box, and I'm like,
I didn't order anything.
What is this?
I did, but I didn't order this. That's amazing. I love it.
So, thank you to Henry and his wife.
That's so good.
And then the next thing.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Over here.
Sorry.
Oh, also, before I do that,
are you done?
For anybody who would like to follow Randall on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Ecto Sports.
Ecto Sports. ECTO. Sports. One word. Ecto Sport. I'm typing it in the
I already
chat.
typed it in as well.
IG. Ecto Sports.
People both agree that the knife is better. The finger knife is better than those wine glasses.
The finger knife is literally not better than anything else.
Careful. That's not nice.
Finger knife.
Finger blade.
Whatever.
And it's got a lot of use. I am gonna carve up a Lexan body with it, and I will show you how well it works.
Why don't you just carry a pocket knife? Do they not fit in your skinny jeans?
No, and
just
get it out. Why? Whoa!
So
you
come
out
sit with a pocket knife in my skinny jeans.
No, but this you could.
My jeggings are a little tight.
Not everyone's gonna. Where did I put my knife? I think is the biggest question you can answer with the finger blade.
Yeah.
Tony from CCXRC wanted to know if the fock is growing on you. Getting your fock on.
No, it's still low on power to me.
I'm going to try the fock pretty soon as the Gladiator's done. Going to give it a run.
They are smooth, but very low on power. Like, they're just so gutless compared... A 2300 to the other 2300s. I'm going to try those just again. But they're just... The axe systems are just so weak.
All right. We will find out.
But people like it.
Yeah.
So
people like that smooth action.
Yeah. I mean, the Fusion that I ran in the Gatekeeper,
that was the 1900.
The convenience factor. The convenience factor, so nice for that. Like,
I think that's what I'm going to put
in certain situations. Worth it.
I think I'll put the Fusion in the Buffalo when it shows up. I think that'll be a good spot for that one.
Use the so the 3300 is the other one that I tried already. My first one was like the low KB. It was another like 1800. The 3300 is the other one that I've tried. And the 3300, I was like comparing comparing the 1800 to other 1800s, it was like, okay, this feels fairly similar. Like up top, it feels a little low, but like down low, it was kind of close. The 3300, I think, was the worst.
Oh,
like it's as far, like comparing it to other 3300s, it's just like this feels like comparing brushed motor power to brushless motor power.
Huh.
So I'm going to try the 2300, and we're going to see how that feels.
All right. So you got your wine.
Hey,
you got your wine glasses, yeah. Scale Metal Supply. Is it Scale Metal Supplies?
Yep.
Sent me a bunch of
Scale Metal on Instagram.
Yes, at Scale Metal Supplies. Sent me a bunch of like corner tab things
with the spider
webs. Yeah, because I got tattoos, so
Oh yeah, exactly.
And then there's some other ones with like some bombs on them.
Oh.
And some other ones with anvils. I believe that's an anvil. Yeah. And then some side tab doodads so you can like make sliders.
Things with holes in them.
But nice little bits and pieces there. He cuts out some nice stuff with his laser.
Yep. That's Josh Splendlove out of Arizona.
Arizona? I think he's in California, isn't he?
He's in California. I met up with him in Arizona.
I'm pretty sure he's in California.
I thought he was in there, but maybe he just drove over. That's not completely out of.
He's in Orange, California.
So
Orange.
You glad I didn't say L.A. See, now it says he's in Arizona here. I don't know.
Well, that's where they came from. I don't know.
Here's the other thing that I got.
Yay! All right.
My semi truck is here to match my semi trailer.
Your box looks smaller than mine.
That's what she said.
Have I shown everybody the box for my A-Rocks? Oh, I
don't think that
I got my trailer done.
Oh, did you?
Want me to go get it?
Sure, why not?
All right.
That's not Splendlow stuff. Okay, that's why. That's right. Josh Splendlow is RC Fab Tabs. Scale Metal Supplies, Orange, California. Different. I apologize for that. I got those mixed up. There's Scale Metal Supplies, and then there's RC Fab Tabs. Two different companies. Both offer really nice stuff. Both worth picking stuff up.
It's quite girthy.
Look at that.
It's so big.
You are so brave to have entirely assembled that whole thing.
Well, it's really easy to take it apart.
Is it?
Yeah. All I have to do is remove 87 screws.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, and I'll see if I can get it to work properly here, is you can, with just a few simple, quick spins of some tabs, the whole thing comes right off.
Oh, God, I'm so jealous of that. I'm so jealous of that.
It's pretty cool, man. And it's rigid. It's got some rigidity to it, which is great.
That is, people will understand my jealousy later, but dang.
Because we're filling them full of snakes.
Full of
snakes.
What?
Yeah, snakes.
I'm sick of.
I'm mother freaking tired of these Monday to Friday snakes. No,
Monday to Friday snakes.
Have you never seen? Have you never seen
snakes on a plane?
Well, you don't have to. There's
I've heard the quotes.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I understand. But on the television version, which aired on TNT, I think like one time, I'm monkey humping tired of these. No, what does he say? I'm sick and tired of these monkey humping snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Oh my God.
That's so good.
I can only imagine that movie would have been 4 hours long on TV. And
not good.
Just, wow.
Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with my ability to build a trailer. Once I had the tools, that really helped.
Yes.
The standard drivers that I didn't have before.
Right. I remember, yeah, we had an interesting conversation about you not having those tools.
But that's done.
Oh.
Now just to get that semi done, but that we can do that after. That's not a priority for the first part of this thing, which we should really honestly probably get to soon.
Yep, I agree. I'm ready to as well.
Yeah.
So I'm having some buffering issues, lagging.
Buffeting.
On my side. Oh, I think it should be back. Buffeting. I've been watching a lot of Top Gear lately as well.
Same.
So
I don't know why, but it's one of those shows that even when it's not a challenge episode or like one of their long films, I don't care if they're reviewing a car that's been out for 12 years. I really just love it.
Yeah. It's the same. I can watch Top Gear episodes. It's the reason that I am still subscribed to Motor Trend On Demand.
See, I have it here on, it's on both Amazon Prime and I think they have it on Apple TV as well.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Plus, I have all of them from, back in the day.
RC Dave charged up. Appreciate it. Says, when's the next RC event, Sir Lloyd Gozer?
You know what? Don't ruin all my gags. I'm going to put so many Lloyd references on that motorcycle.
I think that the next one I have planned to is honestly in February.
I don't have any planned right now.
Yeah, I'm planning on making it down to the King of the Streets no prep event, which that event, it's huge no prep. It's $100 buy-in per person.
Oof.
I think last year the winner was like $4,500, and second place was like almost $2,000.
Damn.
Like, this year, honestly, the winner, like, it could be a $10,000 day for somebody.
Oh my God. Who would have thunk it?
For racing tiny cars for 132 feet.
At what, like 56 miles an hour?
Fast guys are going 62 to 67.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I can go that fast in a TRX6.
Right.
So.
I was working on my drag car last night.
Is this? You're never going to drive it though, so what difference does it make?
That I cut my first piece of carbon fiber on my step craft and made myself a ESC tray just for fun. Since there wasn't anything else going on last night, I was just like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna distract myself with some other.
Yeah, I'm gonna distract myself from nothing.
Yeah, nothing at all. I got so much work done last night. Like, I worked on 5 projects.
Yeah, I didn't get nearly anything
on all of them.
I actually am way behind on some work stuff. So yeah, I
got the 4.5 turn motor installed.
Nice.
The Teak and Illuminator. I made my ESC tray for my RS Pro Black Edition.
Sweet.
I'll get that mounted up. And then, I mean, after that, I'll probably start working. I'll probably get a body put on this thing, and actually to do maybe some actual driving or testing.
Well, don't stress yourself about that.
I mean, I can't decide what body to actually run. I've bought all of them, it seems like.
Proline lost my my Malibu. And they're not
really. It did get lost, huh?
Yeah, they're not returning my emails now either. That SPG 10 didn't go very far on that.
Sign up your TRX6 for a drag.
Yeah, you should, Josh.
you know what? That car takes a little bit longer to get up to those speeds. I don't think I would do well, but
you'd look hilarious doing it, though.
yeah.
Moose Jaw was saying that I should weather this container, and yes, that's the plan. I've already got a really kick-ass scheme all picked out for it. I'm really excited.
Yep. That I'm excited to see what your paint job looks like. I've got a lot of planning to do left on mine, but
Moose Jaw, thanks for the offer. I'm just going to get Proline to send me another one, because there was a T-shirt in that package, and I wanted the T-shirt.
Right. Paul, he says thanks to Randall, me, and you. Once again,
that's great. Thank you.
It was a solid. It was great to have Randall on.
Yeah, it was fun. It was very fun. He's got a lot of good stories, and coming from the full size world as much as he does, you get a real good insight into, kind of where things go. In terms of like, well, this is what we're into. Let's make one of these.
Yeah, and it's, I've followed that world for so long as well, the full size stuff, and it's always, he has been, living on the West Coast, he's been more like physically involved with that, which is always cool to see. Like now, when I get the chance to go to events and talk to these guys who are those people that I've been following for so long, it's cool to see. And,
yeah,
Randall's been side by side with so many of those guys for so long.
Yeah, that's very cool. He's a good dude. Solid.
Yep.
Did you watch my Kyosho Mini Z Wrangler video?
Of course. That was quite a fun video.
That was a fun video. It was fun to shoot because I didn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, you just hung out in your driveway and moved your hatchet around.
Yeah, I've moved it around like 3 times. And also the recovery gear in the bag that comes with the Rubicon.
Ah, I see. Yes.
Got my snatch strap and a D-ring and some gloves
and a bag.
A bag to put it in.
Yeah, I liked it. It was cool. When you had told me that idea, I was like, that's a great idea. I think that will be fun to watch.
Yep.
And
it was. All right. Well, it's 11:30.
Yep.
I got to go to bed. And it's been a pleasure hanging out with all of you again. Thank you to Randall for joining us tonight. Thanks, Josh, always for being such a great guy.
Obviously, you're a half decent co-host as well.
I'm half of the decent hosts.
Yeah. Yeah. This is never above decent. I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks to Sam C, RC Patina Guy, Backyard Slick, Gene Master, Quack RC, George, and RC Dave charged up for their donations as well.
Weird.
Appreciate it.
I would say thank you, but my guys weren't appearing in the viewer activity. Or I didn't get any. No, it was Quack RC and Robert Willis and Quack RC again. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it much.
Yeah, big time.
So
we'll see you again next week, probably again.
Yep. We'll work on more guests because it's fun for us as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So
thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Later.
Bye.